Real Ranked is back with our second part of the A24 bracket. So tune in. Hello and welcome back to Real Ranked. Today we got our A24 bracket part 2 with a lot of new releases this year with Everything Everywhere All at Once, Men, Marcel the Shell, and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So should be exciting to have those additions as well as some of the other A24 movies we didn't talk about. So I'm going to bring everyone in. Unfortunately, John couldn't be here, so Albert will be replacing John, but I'll bring Sophie. Bring back Holland, John, and Albert. How's everyone
Hello.
doing?
Oh
I'm
my
doing
gosh.
good.
Pretty good.
I'm not qualified to be here, but I'm glad to step in anytime. So I saw the list. I've seen like maybe less than half of the film. So
Well,
let's see.
we'll see what you have seen. Spence has been waiting a long time for this, so glad to see
Hi,
you.
Spence.
But should we get into our first two movies?
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right, so our first matchup is going to be The Death of Dick Lawn versus On the Rocks. So we'll start with The Death of Dick Lawn. I think I'm the only person who has seen this. John had seen it as well, but he's not here. So, but yeah, I think a fine movie. It wasn't really that funny though, but I think it's like still entertaining. You know, it's called The Death of Dick Lawn, so like you would be expecting it to have some humor. But personally, didn't really find it too funny. I think there just weren't too many interesting characters, and even though the mystery is a little bit intriguing, I don't think the payoff was that strong. So it's a watchable movie for sure. I think it's totally fine to watch, but I personally don't love it. And then we can talk about On the Rocks. Whoever has seen this movie can go ahead.
I have seen On the Rocks. I went on a Sofia Coppola binge a while ago, and this was one of the films. And I liked it okay. I think Bill Murray is fine. It's not a creepy dad role, but like sort of like a dad that want to be way too involved with his daughter's life, played by Rashida Jones, who I thought she was good. And Bill Murray played the role well for how it's written. But like as a whole, the film's pretty forgettable. Like it's supposed to be sort of like a dramedy, but like I don't think the comedy hits really well. As a whole, it's like a very fine film, like standard, I guess. I don't hate it, I don't love it, so it's like neutral.
Sorry, Sophie, are you playing Fortnite right now?
Absolutely not. How dare you?
Come on, check.
All right. Well, Sophie, why don't you talk about On the Rocks?
Wait, how do you check? I'm just kidding. I've seen On the Rocks. I saw it a while ago. I think it was a quarantine movie, but it was fine. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but like I didn't really come out like, oh wow, I'm changed, like wow, it was the best movie ever, or it didn't really impact me in any ways. Kind of just like there. I had a few chuckles. Rashida Jones' character is kind of whatever. I think Bill Murray kind of carried because he had that like charm and weirdness to his character. But overall, it was just kind of meh. I'm not like the biggest fan of Sofia Coppola's films. I think Lost in Translation is her best one. Then again, I haven't seen a whole bunch of her filmography, so yeah, I don't really have much else to say.
Sean,
I haven't
what have you
seen either. I haven't seen either of these movies.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, On the Rocks is just it's okay. I think it would be better if it had a better script and just like formed a stronger identity. I feel like the plot's a very straightforward. I didn't think it was too funny. I think the car chase was pretty funny though.
There was a car chase on the rocks.
Yeah, when
Is it the one in the city?
they're chasing after the taxi. Bill Murray's
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
because he can't like brake. He like speeds the entire time and like
I don't remember that part.
has to like he runs a red light and then gets pulled over by the police, and the police he's like, oh, I know your father and I know your grandfather, and he gets away with it.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
I have a question. Since only you have seen both of them, so for this kind of instance and going forward, is it just the person who's seen both gets to vote?
Yeah, I think I'm the only person who votes. That's why
I trust your judgment, Matthew.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm not super passionate about either of these movies, so please choose a way.
I'm sure if I've seen them, I wouldn't care.
I think I would go with The Death of Dick Long.
Okay. They both sound mid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who's in this film? There's someone notable.
In what?
Death of Dick Long.
No one. Dan O'Shiner directed it though. That's the main.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But none of the actors are like super famous.
Okay.
Okay, so The Death of Dick Long moves on, and we'll go to our next face-off: Lamb versus Spring Breakers.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
So, who wants to start with Lamb? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen
not seen
both of them. So
I want to see Lamb, but I haven't gotten around to it. That's a newer one, right?
Yeah.
Sophie, the only person who's seen both of these, then?
Oh yeah, I've seen both.
I started Spring Breakers though. I didn't.
Oh my god, both they're so different. It's insane. I can't even compare the two. Okay. Who's starting, or who wants to talk first? If not, I mean I can.
You're the only person who's seen Lamb, so go.
Oh sure. All right. So I saw this in theaters. It was me. I was by myself for a while, and then the movie started, and then these teenagers came in, sat in the back, and left halfway through, and I was left alone in the theater, which honestly made the experience kind of better, because this movie was it was bleak as hell, man. It takes place in like the middle of nowhere, Iceland, which it's a beautiful place, but when you're like really in the middle of nowhere, it's scary. And I really do like the brooding vibes that the movie gives off. I didn't hate it at all. It's super slow, but it had my attention throughout most of the runtime. The final 10 minutes are insane because it's just like, oh, A24, sure. Of course that exists. But it's based off it's like a folklore. And I couldn't help but laugh every time I saw that lamb child thing. It's not a spoiler. We all know it's there. So I think that was pretty funny. It was just like, it's the head of a lamb and then the body of a child. Like, that's so funny to me. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's see. I gave it like a 6 out of 10 because it was super slow and some of it was kind of like dumb. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm gonna say yeah, it was pretty good. I probably would pick Spring Breakers over this because it's more wild and crazy, and although this does have a pretty crazy ending, yeah.
Okay. Has anyone else seen Spring Breakers?
Nope.
Like I said, I started it, did not finish.
It's been a while since I've seen Spring Breakers, but it does has it has a pretty cool aesthetic to it. It's pretty wild and dumb, but I don't remember enough about it. And I have seen Lamb, so I guess Spring Breakers will move forward. Cameron Holtzman in the chat says, "Death of Dick Long is about the guy who fucks a horse."
Oh, is it actually?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah. Spence saying they haven't seen it, but it's got to be better than Spring Breakers. And Cameron has seen both, but says Lamb is better.
Well, Spring Breakers. I guess we could talk about that, but yeah, Lamb. A lot of people gave Lamb shit. I thought it was entertaining, and it's a very typical A24 movie. But I guess y'all, who all has seen Spring Breakers then?
Only Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have to. Okay, so Matthew, you talk about it. Unless
I just did.
He just did.
That was
So
nothing. I want
he said he doesn't
more.
remember it well.
Wait, I have a question. You said Lamb was based on a folklore?
Yeah, something like that. It felt like one.
Did not see that coming, to be honest. I thought it was fiction.
No, Sophie. Maybe if you weren't gaming, you would have.
Ooh, shots fired.
Listen, I'm multitasking.
Not the only
But
way. Well,
okay,
or
yeah,
not.
you don't remember. Actually, Spring Breakers. I watched this during COVID, and I was working from home, and I decided to put it on. I shouldn't have done that. I will say I appreciate the message that it was trying to convey. I thought it was interesting in that regard, but the movie's all over the place. I love the color palette. It's crazy and drenched in like neon and colors and shit. The opening sequence is an opening sequence at that. It does capture the spring break vibe very well. I mean, that's how Florida is during spring break. It's wild, it's crazy, it's dumb. A lot of stupid people doing dumb shit. The characters I didn't really care for. Their motives were kind of stupid and ridiculous. Honestly, I'd personally probably pick Lamb. But honestly, it's either way for me. Spring Breakers or Lamb. Either way, I really it wouldn't matter to me.
You've seen both, so which one are you going with?
Let's go Lamb because I rated that one higher.
Okay, sounds good. Then Lamb moves on.
Iceland the movie versus America the movie.
I've been to Iceland, so I'm gonna give Iceland the edge because Iceland is way better than Florida. So there we go.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
All right. We'll move on to the next matchup: The Hole in the Ground versus American Honey.
Oh God, hole in the ground. What even is that?
We'll start with The Hole in the Ground. And Colin, do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I haven't seen American Honey, unfortunately, but The Hole in the Ground is a very, very boring, straightforward horror movie about this single mother who moves out to the middle of nowhere. I think Britain, somewhere in Great Britain, and there's a giant hole in her backyard, and stuff starts happening, and I wish something cool happened in the movie, but really nothing does. It's very, very straightforward, very boring. I expected more from A24 horror, but alas. So I feel like from the things I've heard about American Honey, it'll probably win. But yeah.
I believe Colin and I are the only ones who have seen The Hole in the Ground. Right.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, The Hole in the Ground. Basically, everything Colin said is true. It's boring. There's no story, and like the only positive thing I can say is that there are some cool shots, but like, it doesn't really add up to much when it's just like adds nothing to the genre. There's no atmosphere too, so it's just like it's rough.
Yeah,
it's the hole scary. I don't get it.
I think the hole is part of like kind of the hole does look kind of cool, but like other than that, it doesn't amount to anything.
It gets kind of dark too, so it's like it can get hard to see some of the stuff at the end.
Yeah.
But Cameron says he hasn't seen The Hole in the Ground, but the plot sounds terrible. So yeah, don't watch it.
I mean, I didn't give too much away, but nobody's probably gonna watch it.
Did they figure out why the hole in the ground appears?
Did they fall in the hole? Like I don't understand.
The kid falls in the hole and then gets replaced by a doppelganger, and the stuff ensues. I don't know if they figure out where the hole came from. I don't think
like
they did.
Symbolism, probably. I don't know.
Why does it sound like reverse Coraline?
Sure. Reverse Coraline is pretty apt, actually. I like it. And way worse Coraline. Way worse.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk about American Honey then, which
I've seen it too.
Personally didn't like. I think it's 2 hours and 43 minutes, so like it can get it's long, and I personally
It's too long.
I couldn't find myself get engaged with the characters, and that was the main issue. I think it has beautiful aesthetics, like the cinematography is stunning. I think there's a really great story there with like being in the shitty environment and dealing with poverty and growing up. But I think if the characters were more compelling, I would like it a lot more. Yeah,
I agree with Matthew. This bored the shit out of me. I didn't really care for the characters that much. I will say it was very nice looking, and I appreciate for what it tried to do. A lot of people love this one, and I'm just like, no, I couldn't get into it for the life of me. Thought the acting was okay too, except Shia LaBeouf was pretty good. That's
yeah,
about it.
Love is great.
The main lead is fine too, I guess, for the character that she plays. But honestly, this one,
It's better than the hole in the ground for sure. At least it has a
Oh,
story, and it
sure.
has,
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
This one moving on. So.
Then American Honey is moving on, and
God.
we will go to our next matchup, which is mid '90s versus A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III.
Oh my God, these are all like mid A24 movies.
Yeah,
Mid-90s
it's
is
definitely a one-sided bracket so far. I know there's some good stuff on here. Don't worry.
But yeah, mid '90s is just a really charming of age movie. Jonah Hill does a really great job of capturing this very authentic life, and I enjoyed it I enjoyed it a lot.
I also liked mid '90s. I think I liked it probably more than most people did. I mean, yeah, it's just a very I think well done coming of age film. Yeah, I've also seen A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. I don't know if anyone else has.
Well,
That's the first one, right?
Yeah, it's the first one. I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Spence says the mid '90s fucks. So
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
yeah, no, that's a good thing.
Usually.
They
I think whatever it means, it's yeah.
Okay.
But Sophie, what are your thoughts on mid '90s? Do you have any?
It was good. I was fine. It's like a slice of life coming of age movie. I didn't love it, but I vibed with it. It was fine. It was good. Let's see. I wasn't a huge fan of the kid with the older woman, but whatever. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's a entertaining movie. It accomplishes what it sets out to do, and it's good. It's fine. I haven't seen Charles Swan, but I've heard it's not that good. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Terrible? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily terrible, but it's just kind of eh.
Mm-hmm. It's just like boring, but also just like with these sexist and racist characters that like it has, it's kind of just sucks. Like Charlie Sheen.
I don't remember a ton of it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I just think Charlie Sheen plays this really unlikable character, and then there's just no development, so he's just terrible throughout the movie, and then the plot is also such a mess that I don't think anything is interesting. So yeah.
Dang, yeah, I just saw your rating, half star. Yeah, I did not give it that, but honestly,
Well,
I
you
don't
need
remember.
a half star. Damn.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it, and definitely not going to defend it because, like, I for sure think mid '90s is better. That's yeah. I feel like A Glimpse Inside the Mind is like one I thought was like okay, and then it just didn't really stick with me. And I feel like if I probably went back to it, I wouldn't like it as much. But anyway, I'm mid '90s for sure.
Okay, cool. Then mid '90s moves on, bringing up some comments that we had. Albert saying he thought American Honey was Honey Boy. So
Both have Shia LaBeouf. Okay, I didn't.
Albert, you're commenting on the panel.
I was ready to make the comment, and then you guys moved on. So I'm just gonna put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Cameron also mixes it up.
Honey Boy, huh? Interesting. Probably very different.
Both have Shia.
Yeah, that's true. I still haven't seen Honey Boy, so well,
Yeah, I've heard that one's good. I need to watch that.
yeah, so have I. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to our next matchup: Laggies versus Zola.
Ooh, I
Damn,
saw both of
I
these.
really want to see Zola. I've heard that one was fun. I've listened to the
So,
score. That's a fun score. Micah Levi or something.
Wait,
mhm.
who's seen Laggies?
So I have,
Okay,
and
I have as well.
okay. I can start if you want me to, or do you want
Yeah,
to
go
start?
ahead.
Okay. I really like Laggies. I just feel like this midlife crisis movie, it's like a coming of age story. Or a quarter life crisis, whatever, I think it's really charming. I think Keira Knightley is great. I think she's giving an American accent, which is really weird to hear, but she was good. And I think Sam Rockwell, he's just super charming. He's very lovable character. Yes. Sam Rockwell is just great in everything, but there's also some really great side characters. I think Chloe Grace Moretz, Caitlin Deaver, they're both really fantastic. I just,
Oh my God, what a cast!
yeah, and it
I
just
need to
has a ton
watch
of
this.
heart. So yeah, I think even though it's a little predictable, it's a fun time.
So I don't remember much about it. So I think this was probably one of the first A24 movies I'd seen, and I haven't rewatched it in a while. Like I feel like it didn't really stick with me. Checking my ranking, I was it's third to last basically, um, which I think I put it there mainly just because I didn't remember that much about it and it didn't really stick with me that much. It I think it reminds me of a um, I don't know, another Noah Baumbach movie basically that like is kind of forgettable, but I can't remember the name about that. But I think I probably think I enjoyed it when I watched it, but just didn't. I don't for A24. I don't think it's one of their best for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but like if it was any normal company, like any different company, it wouldn't be as low in the ranking.
That's fair. Okay, well, we'll move on to Zola then. Who else has seen Zola?
I haven't seen.
I
So
like
just
the
Sean?
music.
Okay,
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
yeah. Sean, do you want to just start with Zola then?
Yeah. This one, I think, like Sophie said, yeah, it was a fun watch. I feel like I was expecting more from it because, like, I don't know, it the whole Twitter thread thing, like that sort of bit sounded very engaging. But I don't know. I think it was a well done movie, but not like top for me. Like I would say like mid, but kind of like slightly higher than that. I think I gave it let's see, yeah, three and a half, which is like basically my like average for me. So not like best A24, I think, but it was a fun time. I think the actresses did well, and like just the like all the like the plot already was so interesting to work off of. So I think it was just a fun watch. But aside from that, I don't know. I didn't think that much of it.
Yeah, like I think Zola is very much style over substance. You know, I think the for a movie based on a Twitter thread, like the plot is really thin, so like they don't really have they don't have a lot of material to make a good movie, but I think the atmosphere and the performances, just especially from the main characters, Taylor Page, Riley Keough, Coleman Domingo, they're all really good. That really elevate what could have been a lackluster story, uh, and so personally, I like Laggies more, like that coming of age quarter life crisis. I feel like I was more engaged with. I don't know about you, Sean.
Shoot, I would have said Zola to be honest, but I don't know if I remember Laggies enough to make that call. And if you have more of an opinion on it, then I'm inclined to go with you.
Okay, uh, we will have Laggies move on then, and uh, we got some comments. Spence saying Zola high with Coleman Domingo in all caps. Cameron hasn't seen Laggies, but Zola has some interesting ideas, but doesn't completely stick the landing.
Yeah, if I liked Zola more, I would defend it more, but I not
Uh,
not necessarily.
And then Holtzman, actually, I should, because there are two Camerons in the chat, saying Laggies is cha-cha real smooth for people in their 30s, which is true.
Huh.
Which is a totally fair comment to
Oh,
make.
is it actually? Oh man, I need to watch it.
I haven't seen either, so I
Cha-cha
cannot
Real
I
chime
don't
in.
know. I wasn't a big fan of Cha-Cha.
Yeah, so,
so
she's 30s. She's in her 30s and just like figuring out what to do with her life. So
I
that coming
love
story.
Cha-Cha Real Smooth. That was so fun.
Spence feels betrayed. I'm sorry, I don't love Zola. Okay.
All right, what's next?
Next up, we got our first 2022 release, I believe. Hot Summer Nights versus Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I don't really want to see either of these. Like, no offense.
This is a spoiler show, so just make sure be prepared when we get to talking about.
I don't care. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is spoiled. I don't want to watch it.
What? It's so good.
We'll start with Hot Summer Nights. So let's go to Albert. Albert hasn't spoken about anything much yet, so why don't we start with it?
Yes, I saw Hot Summer. Wait, do we start with Hot Summer Nights directly?
Yeah, Hot Summer Nights.
Okay, I saw this last night. It was a fine film. It came out 2017. I was surprised that Timothée Chalamet's voice haven't dropped yet back in this film. But the film is okay. The girl from It Follows, which I'm blanking the name, Micah Monroe, I think. Yeah, she was there too. I thought she was good. Timothée Chalamet is fine. The plot is kind of, it feels weirdly rushed, even though I think it takes place, I'm not sure, I think it takes place like the whole summer, at least like half of a summer, but it feels super rushed. And just overall, I thought it's very fine. The film feels dirty in the sense of like the way it's shot, the way how stuff are portrayed. It just feels dirty. I don't know if that makes sense at all. If you've seen it, maybe you can comment on that. But I thought the film feels dirty, and I just didn't enjoy it too much. It's fine. So yeah, Hot Summer Nights.
Sophie, what are your thoughts on Hot Summer Nights?
I thought it was fine. I kind of like same thoughts of like mid-90s. It's like slice of life, coming of age, but like weird shit happens and it takes a turn that I didn't really expect. I don't really have a lot to say. To me, is good. I don't really remember much of it, so.
Timmy is usually good, so. But yeah, I don't think the story is all that interesting. None of the characters are really that fun to follow, so not a big fan of this movie. But we can move on to Bodies, 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 but also Spence in the comments saying Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is still great. And Cameron Patterson saying he hasn't seen Hot Summer Nights, but is this even a question? Well, maybe who knows what will happen when we talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Sophie, do you want to start with this one?
Oh man, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I had so much fun watching this one in theaters. It's just like this was one of my most anticipated of the year for some reason. Please don't ask me why. I don't know. But let's see. This one was just a blast from beginning to end, and I really love like the whole twist of the movie. How there was. Do you mind if I spoil it?
Well, yeah, spoilers. Spoiler warning.
We've all seen it, right?
I don't care.
Not Sean has
Colin,
not, but
I don't want to see it.
Okay.
Is Colin taking his thing off?
Yeah, Colin took it off, so you're good to talk about.
I love the twist out. There wasn't actually a killer, and it was just Pete Davidson acting like a stupid head that basically got himself killed, and everyone else freaked out. I thought that was brilliant because that perfectly captured like that generation and how stupid they are. But I didn't realize how dialogue heavy the movie would be because honestly, I was just like kind of captured into their toxic problems and their relationship and how like they're friends but they have a lot of issues, and you come to think of it after all the problems they go through, are they actually friends or are they just pretending, and it's just that culture of like those privileged people who they might have it all but they don't have it all, So I really liked that dynamic with all the characters. I loved Rachel Sennett's character. She stole the show for me. Um, she was hilarious. I laughed a lot in this movie. It was hilarious. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Also, all the practical effects are fantastic with the flashlights on the phone, and um, I don't know. Everything about the movie were good. The practical effects I said were good. It's just like it's better than Hot Summer Nights, like easily. So I'm gonna leave it to some other people to talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies because it's A24's Among Us and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the way the movie advertised this movie was as a as a slasher, and it's not a slasher, but I think it still works as a whodunit. I think when I watched the trailer, I thought it was kind of cringy, but then after watching the movie, I think it like really the dialogue is just really smartly written. I think it's a really clever satire on just Gen Z, and the ending is just amazing. I think just seeing the reveal happen and being like, yeah, this makes sense.
I
like
have
it
reception.
it just works
That
so
was
well
perfect.
to like critique this generation of people and like they don't even look to see like what happened. They just like immediately start accusing each other without like checking. It's just because they don't have service or anything like that. It's just like it's great, and it really
they throw out wild accusations and they wait for something to stick. It's hilarious.
And it just like does a great job of like showing the different character dynamics and like seeing what bubbles up and like what gets revealed and learning about everybody as it moves along. I think everyone's fantastic. Obviously, Rachel Sennett's the standout, but I also really like Maria Bakalova. I think she's the POV character, and I think just like playing that kind of person works really well, and I really liked following her. I mean the whole cast is stands out. I think Pete Davidson, he's excellent in playing this kind of character, and then Lee Pace as well, who I pretty much barely see him in a normal human, so it's pretty cool to see him here. He's great. And then what you said, I think having the blackout really worked well for this movie. I think because it's so dark and all we see for lighting is the flashlights and glow sticks, it really adds to the claustrophobia and like makes it more tense than it would have been. So, yeah.
Do I go next?
Yeah, Albert.
Yeah. First of all, talking about the Lee Pace comment, yeah, it's good seeing him normal because the outside of the Hobbit films, MCU, and Twilight, the only thing I've seen Lee Pace is in Marmaduke, so that's like not a good comparison. But he's good in this. Like I agree with you. I think Rachel Sennott is great. Amanda Stenberg is great, but my favorite is Maria Bakalova. I think she displays the most range of emotions out of all of it. And yeah, like the idea of it being like super satire, right? Like super self-aware of the Gen Z stuff, making fun of it, and like the dialogues and everything. I think that's what makes it fresh because again, it's a whodunit, but not really. It keeps you guessing throughout the whole time, like who could it be? Because everyone sort of did something bad, and then eventually, once the reveal happened, I was like, "That is brilliant! I freaking love the reveal of everything."
Spence's commentary is my favorite.
But yeah, just the whole, just how self-aware is it, and the criticism of like this generation, Gen Z, is like really smart. Have you guys heard of the original ending of this film, of what it's supposed to be?
Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I saw this interview by Perry Nemroff with Myhala Harrell. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She plays Jordan. So basically, in the interview, they mentioned that the original ending was that, and it would have changed the movie. It was that Sophie and B was fighting over the phone, and they were like fighting over on the second floor, and they were just tussling and fighting over the phone, trying to see, and like the phone slipped off the balcony, and then Sophie went to grab it, but then she fell off the balcony and she just fell down and like onto like a statue or something. So she died at the end of the film, just trapped through a statue. And then it was just B on her own, left on her own in the house. So that would have completely changed the ending. Completely different movie.
Yeah,
if that has happened. So yeah,
I think one of my favorite parts of dialogue is when they're talking about gaslighting and like how it's not even a word anymore because of how often people use it. And I really like that breakdown of that word and just like words, Gen Z terms in general. I think I really like that. I wanted to hear like your thoughts on that, conversation, if you have any.
No, I think yeah, you said it. Again, just the use the use of taking on the approach like from a POV of this generation. It's like that's what makes it refreshing.
All right, Sophie, you have anything else to add, or should we let Colin put?
You guys loved Maria Baklava. I thought she was actually the weakest out of all. Maybe because I'm just now thinking because she was the point of view character that I don't know. For some reason, the casting just felt off for her character. I don't know. Maybe because
This is my favorite performance of hers that I've seen. So
I like she's a comedian, so I expected her to be like a lot more funny in this
which
movie.
is why when she did dramatic roles, like this is great.
Yeah,
from
it's
her,
like it's
so, yeah.
different,
I guess
And she
I
does
thought,
it
I
really
thought
well.
she was good, but I thought everyone else was better. But
Fair.
I guess that was the point of her character. But either way, I love this movie. It has to move on, and I'm really happy we stayed on Bodies, Bodies, Bodies for a while because it really deserves that discussion.
Yeah, I think for the new releases, I feel like we'll have a lot more to say about them. And especially
Yeah.
that is like as great and like as just unique as of like a murder mystery as Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So,
Also,
yeah.
I know this is randomized this matchup, but what are the chances that two hurricane centric a film that both have hurricanes in it is matching up
Yeah,
with each other?
that's,
So yeah.
that's true. It happens. Just bringing us some comments. Sean saying bodies, 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 and Gen Z satire sounds cringy. I
Oh,
just want
also,
to see
yeah.
Inuo is great. I would recommend it for anyone who is able to watch it. I saw it in the theaters. I was very lucky. Cameron responding with weed.
Oh,
Spence
is that
agrees with
me?
Sophie. Spence said that B was their least
Dude,
favorite of the.
I
but she was
swear
so good.
Spence and I are on the same wavelength for most of this shit. Thanks, Spence.
Okay,
I tell Colin he can come back. Colin, come back.
Colin.
You're good, Colin. Colin, come back.
Yep. I can't wait
We're
to
good,
see
Colin.
it. You guys talked about it for a while.
Yeah. It's a good one to talk about.
Oh man, I almost saw it last week and then I ran out of time.
Yeah. Hopefully you can watch it soon. It is playing at Wabash, right? So
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see
Hopefully,
it
it's
this
staying in
week.
the theater for quite a bit. Hopefully.
Yeah.
What's the next matchup?
Okay, so we'll bring up our next matchup, which is.
Did we vote it?
Yeah,
I guess we all vote Bodies. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
none of you like Hot Summer
we
Nights.
we never formally say it. I was just.
You guys talked about Hot Summer Nights for like what, a minute or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I've seen both.
Yeah, so our next matchup is Uncut Gems versus Climax, making sure the audio listeners know what is on screen. We'll go to Uncut Gems, and I guess we can go to either Colin or Sean. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Oh yeah, I've seen
both of
Uncut
these.
Gems.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Colin, we'll start with you since you weren't able to discuss Bodies.
Okay. Uncut Gems is very good. I think I still like A Good Time more. But I still think it's a very solid Safdie Rose film. And I think it's obviously Adam Sandler's performance is praised a lot, and it deserves it. It deserves it for sure. This movie is it goes very quick, even though it's like I think a little over 2 hours. I think it's definitely one of the fastest paced 2 hour films I've ever seen. And it's very anxiety inducing. It's just like A Good Time, which again I think it does a little bit better. So I think in a head to head matchup, with A Good Time, it would probably lose for me. But I don't know how much else to say about it because it was getting a ton of buzz back when back when Sandler thought he might get nominated. Of course he didn't. But yeah, I think it deserves most of the praise it gets for sure.
Sandler won the Indie Spirit Award though, so
yeah, that's good for him. He earned it.
Andrew, before we go to Sean, Andrew was saying he's about to take a nap, but he's rooting for a Ghost Story in First Reformed.
A Ghost Story is out.
Are they in the bracket?
A Ghost Story is out. First Reformed is in the semifinal.
I will root for First Reformed. Do not worry. Probably anyway.
Spence saying Uncut Gems easy sweep. We'll find out what happens.
We'll see.
Sean.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I haven't seen Climax, but I mean, I actually would say I like Uncut Gems more than Good Time, I think. But I mean, they're both so similar in like tone and pacing that it's like, it's kind of just more preference, I think. Yeah, I mean, Uncut Gems is just like, that's such a wild ride. I mean, like, yeah, Adam Sandler has like a few gems in his filmography, pun intended.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'd second everything Colin said. I mean, I think the Safdie Bros are really good with the pacing and their direction. And like, yeah, I don't know what else to add because I like Uncut Gems. I mean, it's just a fun time. Like, yeah, and yeah, the movie doesn't like let up, so it's not like it's like boring at all, or anything. It's not. It's definitely not slow pacing. So it's a good watch. I need to rewatch it, honestly. I like it.
This is a really interesting matchup because both of these movies are just like they're very stress inducing. Like they're kind of fast paced as well, like and it never like lets you gives you time to breathe. Really, I think Uncut Gems. Adam Sandler is just incredible. He continuously makes bad decisions, but we just want him to, we're just rooting for him. Like we want him to win. This is how I win. And Kevin Garnett also just very surprising to see him in this movie. I'm not a basketball person, but like it's always rare to see, athletes like become actors and like actually give a good performance.
He plays himself, but yeah.
But
a version of himself. It's still a good performance.
Yeah.
And then the side characters, the supporting cast is all really good. I think the cinematography is really well done, and it adds a lot to the uncomfortable atmosphere to the movie. And I basically I agree with pretty much what you guys have said already.
Yeah. Oh, it's Albert's turn. Go, Albert.
Yeah. I like Uncut Gems. And no, I'm just doing the thing that Julia Fox did. No, this film is great. Adam Sandler should have been nominated. I think he might be my favorite performance of that year. I have to look back, but I really like him in that film. He's up there. But yeah, I really like this film. It's super stressful. Like I want to watch it again. At the same time, I don't want to because it's anxiety driven. And yeah, it's the ending. The ending was unexpected. I mean, I've never seen a Safdie films prior to this, so I don't know if it's something that they do. But the ending was unexpected, and just the whole film again. It's the definition of stressful, and like the eerie music really helps enhance that mood the whole time. But yeah, outside of the direction, the script, and Sandler, I don't know what else. I mean, it's good, and those three really just is strong enough to carry the whole film. Really, Lakeith Stanfield was okay. I don't think he was anything too special. I mean, he fits exactly well. And Kevin Garnett. If you've seen him in interviews and everything, so in this film, he definitely plays a good toned down version of himself because he is much more vulgar in real life. So yeah. That's my thoughts.
Sophie?
I pretty much agree with what a lot of people are saying with the Uncut Gems. So I don't really have much else to add. Besides, I watched this like a Netflix party with my friend, and I will say I did feel the runtime. Maybe because it was late and I was ready to go to sleep, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Super stressful, a lot of fun, funny. Adam Sandler, this is definitely his best performance.
Wow.
Debatable.
What do you think his best performance is?
I think it's his best performance.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk is another one.
Oh,
that's
right.
second.
I forgot about that.
The Mayor Stories is also like his other one good or another good performance, I think. But
Yeah,
it's hard.
he's pretty
Hotel
good.
Transylvania.
Vic, I think, is
Hotel
one
Transylvania.
of his better
Blah blah
performances.
blah.
Happy Gilmore, you could say that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
really like him in Mr. Deeds.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I like Good Time better. I agree with most of what Colin said. Um, but this one was just as fun. I think it was really overhyped for when I watched it. So sorry, I was killing someone. But yeah, I guess I need to I have been wanting to rewatch it for a while, so that's like a big thing. But yeah, and I haven't seen Climax, so I think Uncut Gems is probably going to move on based on some things. I don't know. Depends on how many people.
We've seen
Well,
both.
let's talk about
I've only
Climax.
seen Gems.
Yeah, Colin, let's go to you.
Yeah, like you said, Matthew, they're not super similar in plot, obviously, but the same feelings are evoked from Climax. It's also an extremely stressful movie. Climax tries some things that I applaud it for. It doesn't necessarily work for me. I know there's like I'm looking it up because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I mean I knew there was a very long take. I didn't realize it was 42 minutes long.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy. So maybe that's good that I didn't realize it was that long. But it's if you guys don't know about the movie, I'll give a very brief synopsis. There's a group of French dancers, I believe, and then French dance troupe, and somebody spikes the punch that they have at a party, and stuff ensues. And yeah, like I said, it's very interesting. I just think not everything it does works for me, even though I think it tries a lot of cool things. There's no, I mean, I do know Sophia. I forgot how to pronounce her last name, but
Butella.
Butella, yeah. She's a recognizable actress, but I don't know anybody else in this film. And it's kind of hard for me to judge foreign language performances. I mean, obviously, I think when emotion comes through in those performances, it's easier to judge. But they're all just kind of tripping, and it's tougher and dancing, tripping and dancing. So it's certainly interesting, but I think Uncut Gems has it beat in my book.
I really love Climax. I think it's a very hypnotic experience. I think the camera work is incredible. Just especially with the long take, it's just amazing how it's shot. I think the dance sequences are all really good. It's like very complex, and the choreography among the cast, because the cast is all mostly dancers in real life, and so
Shit.
yeah, it's really crazy how a lot of their dance moves, and along with they're tripping, and so like you can feel like you're on the trip with them, like especially with how the camera moves, and I was a really big fan of it. I think because you got more people have seen Uncut Gems, I'm okay with letting that move on. But I would choose Climax over Uncut Gems.
Interesting. It's close. I like Climax. It's just I don't. I think a rewatch would help for sure. Yeah, Uncut Gems moving forward is also good.
Okay. Our next matchup is The Rover versus High Life. So
I haven't seen any of these. Are these both
Pattinson's?
Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson?
No, both Robert Pattinson.
Oh, Robert Pattinson, but she's
Yeah.
she's in some movie, A24
Equals, yeah. Well, I guess I'm the only person who's seen The Rover.
I haven't seen either of them, so
I haven't seen either.
Okay, yeah, this movie is really boring.
Oh shoot, no.
Yeah.
So is High Life in my.
what is it about?
It's in this like Australian wasteland, and then one of the characters has their car stolen, and it's just like it just wasn't. It's just really bland, and you could definitely feel it's not even 2 hours long, but you really feel the runtime, and like the story isn't really interesting. It was a little confusing at first, and then the movie doesn't really go anywhere, and so the ending just becomes really anticlimactic. And like the characters, Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson are pretty good, but I think it was just really boring.
Has anyone seen Highlight?
I haven't seen either.
Nope.
I have.
Okay.
Sean,
Do you want
you
to
can start.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, that's unfortunate. The Rover's boring. I hadn't heard of it before you mentioned it, but I found High Life kind of boring. I mean, I think most people probably wouldn't agree from what I'd like the ratings I saw for it, but I don't know, I wasn't into it. Like I'd probably like it better than the Rover from just looking at the poster and what you said when I looked it up. But I don't know. High Life, I thought I'd like more, being like sci-fi, A24. I mean, it looks cool. Claire Denis, good direction. I like the cinematography, and I mean, it's got Robert Pattinson in it, but I don't know. I was very not into it, and it was a little confusing. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's very confusing, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
I
I
do.
just kind of tuned out.
That's fair. I was like really enthralled by it. Just like it has this very confusing and just like very surreal nature to it, that I found myself drawn to. It's Pattinson and Julia Binoche are both really good, and I don't understand everything. There's clearly a lot of symbolism, but I did end up enjoying it. So I
Yeah,
would pick it over the Rover.
I think that's one like I thought I would like in theory. It sounds like one I would like in theory, like surreal sci-fi. But I feel like I just watched it at the wrong time, or like was trying to like watch it just to watch more A24 or something. And like I don't know, when you make yourself watch movies, it's kind of enjoy less of it sometimes. But I should rewatch it at some point, maybe with more time.
Spence doesn't love High Life, and Holtzman says it sucks. Cameron is asking if it's Charlie Kaufman confusing. I think
Okay, I like Charlie Kaufman though.
it's not Charlie Kaufman confusing because it's more so that the movie's filled with a lot of symbolism, and it's like experimental stuff that like
Yeah, it's like that's why I think it's slow.
Mhm.
Like definitely experimental,
Mhm.
but
But at least
I'm
it's
okay with High
trying
Life.
something. The Rover
Yeah.
is just not
Oh
giving
yeah.
any. So
Like I can imagine. Like I prefer a swing and a miss than just bland. To be honest, like
mhm. Okay, then High Life moves on, and we
Shout out,
will.
shout out to my dog named Rover in case he's watching right now. Hi, Rover.
Did you send him the
Was it
link?
named after the Rover?
No, it
I
wasn't.
think he did. Albert sent the link to everybody. He put it on his Twitter.
Yeah,
Right.
my dog might be watching.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on to our next matchup. First Cow versus After Yang.
Oh, this is
So
easy.
I haven't seen
I
either. So
I tried to watch After Yang before this, but I didn't get a chance. So I can start with First Cow or someone else because I've been speaking on most of these movies. So either Albert or Sophie, or have you
I
guys?
haven't seen either of them. So
I
I
haven't
cannot
seen
say
either of
anything.
these either.
Colin, have you seen First Cow?
I have not seen First Cow, but I have seen After Yang.
Okay,
I
I'll start with
started First Cow.
Cow, I guess. Because I haven't seen After Yang, I will start with First Cow and just say I really like First Cow. It's my first Kelly Reichardt movie, so it's very interesting. I think the slow pace really works for me. It's very relaxing. I think just seeing this beautiful friendship between Cookie and I forget the other character's name, but their relationship and their bond together I find really compelling. It's themes of capitalism really I feel like it adds a lot to because the movie's slow, and it's still really engaging. I think Evie the cow, you got to give a shout out to her. She gives a great performance. But yeah, I also think it's just super beautiful. Like the cinematography is gorgeous, and the shot composition just looks stunning. It really brings you into this old like Oregon during like early America, and I feel like I should rewatch it because I don't want to spoil the movie, but like the opening and closing scenes are just amazing, and yeah, Sean.
I mean, I can talk about what I saw of First Cow because I started it and did not finish, but
Okay.
I feel like it's one that I would have liked had I finished. It's just like I didn't have a lot of time, and it was one I was trying to get to, but I don't know. I didn't like. Yeah, I got busy. Didn't feel like finishing it at the time. But I like. I'm a really big fan of Whitney and Lucy's another Kelly Reichardt film, so I was expecting to like that, and it's still one I want to get around to. But I liked the beginning, even though it was a bit slow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's move on to After Yang then. We can start with Colin.
Yes, I really loved After Yang. I have to shout out the opening credits dance sequence. If you have a chance to watch the first 10 minutes of this movie, it's
I
worth it.
did get to that part, but I wasn't able to finish it.
Okay, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's a really beautiful movie. Just the trying to fix the Yang. I think the whole process that Colin Farrell's character goes through to try and fix him for his daughter. And then his conversation with Yang on T. I think this movie finds a lot of beauty in smaller things, despite the grand scope of the film, dealing with technology and it's not Afrofuturism, excuse me, it's just futurism, but it's also like a believable future, not like super distant. I think it strikes a good balance between something that we could reasonably expect in the next, I don't know, like 50, 60 years, while also like maintaining it's still very grounded in a lot of senses. So I obviously can't say anything about First Cow. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I think it'd be a shame if it doesn't move on, but it's gonna be a little difficult considering how we've seen these movies. So
Sean.
Yeah. I second. Every like thing that Colin said. This was one that like unlike High Life, I was expecting to like, and like with the whole sci-fi A24, the aesthetic that it has. This one I did end up enjoying. I mean, I there's a reason like why we're having a panel for this. Like, and then the style I think is one that like it can be overdone at times, but I really like when here like the simplism and the message really go well with the like direction and the I think cinematography so many times. And yeah, I mean sci-fi that's like more slow paced and I think kind of like message driven, but it's just, you still have elements that make it more philosophical and then like bring in a lot of new ideas with the sci-fi. I think is stuff I really enjoy. Like like more I don't yeah more philosophical sci-fi like Blade Runner, etc. And this I think it had a lot to say yeah, about like memories, like culture, etc. And yeah, it was just really beautifully told. I mean, yeah, the dance scene was like there are also yeah a lot of elements of like um, outside of just the more like I don't know melancholy vibe that it gives off, but yeah, like a lot of the simple vibe and tone that it has, it just knocks out of the park. So I definitely want to go through. I think it's a beautiful film.
Okay. Cameron in the comments saying After Yang is good, but second best Coconata.
there's only like 2 movies.
Is that a director?
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
this miles above Columbus, even though that one's still very good. But I just much prefer sci-fi. I think
Matthew would disagree because he loves Columbus.
Well, yeah, that's why Coconata. People know that.
I need to watch both of these. So.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this because like I I haven't felt strongly about a lot of the ones so far, but I really want to push after Yang through.
Yeah,
but I mean
I
also makes it pretty difficult
I
going
want to.
forward.
I think
So-
Cameron has seen both. I want to hear what Cameron has to say. Just I think
Live chat.
we're gonna push after Yang onto the next round, but I just want to hear if Cameron has if he's seen both because he commented. But
Interesting.
okay. Our next matchup is the Souvenir versus Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. So I'm assuming I'm the only person who has seen the Souvenir.
Probably.
Because John
Why
had
not?
seen it too, but he can't make it. So yeah, I meant to rewatch this because I saw this back when it came out or like in like 2019, but it's been a little while. But I think just it's a slow pace, but I found myself really connecting to the main character and like seeing her relationship with this man is I feel found really interesting. I don't want to say too much about it since you guys haven't seen it. It's because it's about this film student and she gets into a relationship with this more older man, and just things happen, and I thought it was really compelling. The main lead is Honor Swinton Byrne, which is Tilda Swinton's daughter. She's
Oh.
fantastic. I think her and her relationship with Tom Burke's character, who you guys might know as playing Orson Welles in Mank, but yeah, Tom Burke is there. They have this really interesting relationship that I found was interesting to follow. So yeah, but let's move on to Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and we'll start with whoever has seen it. I don't know, Albert, have you seen this?
Nope.
Sophie?
I've seen it. I loved it. I did. Oh God, what a night! I double featured this with Where the Crawdads Sing, and I walked out of Where the Crawdads Sing. I hated that movie. So this one, I started the night with Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, starting off strong. I loved Marcel. That it was just so wholesome. Sarah also said she loved Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. So, um, I don't know. It's just like one of those wholesome movies. It's like My Neighbor Totoro or Paddington. And I would do anything for this show. Literally anything. Anytime the show would talk and talk about life, and I think throw up because I was getting in the car and throwing. It's adorable. I don't know. I would watch hours of the show just go through life, and it has such a simple premise, but it's so beautiful that I had like tears coming out of my eyes towards the end of it. It's one of the more wholesome A24 movies, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, it's super cute. I 10 out of 10 would watch again. Um, I see this one moving on for sure. It's because it's such a cute movie. I love it. It's so great. We need more films like these.
Cameron, before we move on, Cameron hasn't seen First Cow yet, and
Tragic.
he said, "Too bad you started instead of ending the night with Marcel."
Have you
Colin.
seen Marcel?
No, I
Matthew?
haven't seen either of these.
Matthew, have you seen Marcel?
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Okay. Yeah, Marcel is just such a delightful movie. It's like super, super charming and wholesome, like Sophie said. But it's also just one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. Like I was laughing out loud so much, and like a lot of things that like Marcel says, it's just like you don't expect it, and you laugh a lot. And I think Jenny Slate does a really great job. It also just balances the comedy and the introspection really well. And I think just how the movie deals with like a sense of community and also just like family, I think is really well done. I think I love Marcel's relationship with his grandma. I love Nakani, and like
Beautiful.
Nanakani wanting like Marcel to achieve his dreams. I think I love that about the movie, and it's just really.
Can I say
really
something, Matthew?
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in the movie where the shell they'll stand on the computer a lot in the movie, and there's a scene where But the grandma shell is just standing on like the Z keyboard or the C key on the
Yeah,
computer.
the key.
And you could just see on the computer the Z's being typed out as she stands on it. And for some reason, that just made me laugh
Yeah,
like crazy. 'Cause she was like falling asleep on, or I don't know if she was asleep or not, but it was just so funny.
yeah. No, it's one of the funniest movies all year. I think
Wow.
this one. Yeah, if you get
Well,
a chance,
I wouldn't say it's, well, I guess compared to what's come out, I mean, I definitely laughed a lot in Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was pretty funny too,
but it's
despite everything else that I felt.
yeah, I guess. Like
But
Marcel the
yeah,
Shell with shoes on is like a comedy. So
yeah, I did laugh a lot. I will say. I don't know if it's the funniest, but I did laugh a lot. So that was
I'm
fun.
interested that it's a comedy because I don't think it was like marketed as such.
No. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I got more of the sentimental vibe from it, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of
There's
excited that
that
it's
too.
balanced.
it just does a good job balancing both. So.
I'm kind of worried it's gonna be like a 2 hour like cry fest, and I'm like,
No,
I need to be in the mood for that.
Mhm.
you will
Question.
shed some tears, but
Is Marcel like a puppet stop motion or is it like CGI?
It's stop motion.
stop motion.
Okay. It looks like it doesn't look like CGI one on
Yeah.
trailer, so I was curious.
It's eligible for best animated feature. So let's hope for a win or something.
What? Huh.
Yeah.
Whoa! But what about Turning Red?
That'll be interesting.
I would say it's between both of those.
I don't know if the Oscars will get Turning Red to win, but we'll see. Yeah.
Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Yeah, Minions. That should be the best.
Minions
not
are
bad.
true.
Right. Well, Marcel the Shell moves on for me for sure.
Yeah, same here. This is an easy one.
All right, let's move on to another 2022 release, Slow West versus Men.
Oh man.
So this will be an interesting topic, but I'm gonna go and start with Slow West because I think I'm the only one who has seen it.
Yeah, probably.
And I like Slow West quite a bit. It's not, it's 84 minutes, and so it's like really fast paced. I think the story is really interesting. It's Cody Smith McPhee, and he's trying to find this woman who he loves. It's a Western, and I think it is a very compelling story. I really like the character relations that he builds. Like Michael Fassbender is in it, and then I really like their relationship together, and I found the ending to be really satisfying. So yeah, I like Slow West a lot. I would recommend it.
Interesting. I've heard it's good.
Okay, well, let's move on to Men. This would be a interesting talking point. So we can start with Colin, since you didn't get to speak on the last one.
Sure. I strongly disliked Men. Alex Garland was one of my favorite new directors working.
Who was?
So I mean, this film doesn't degrade the quality of his past two, Ex Machina and Annihilation, which I enjoyed both of very much. But man, this just feels like a big step down. I think I liked a lot of the first half. I think I'm blanking on the actress and actor's name, but like the
Jessie
one
Buckley.
actor who played Jessie Buckley does
Rory
very well.
Kinnear, who played everyone else.
Roy Kinnear, who plays pretty much everybody else. But yeah, they were doing a good job. It's just the ending. It's just when you try to have a symbolic ending, but then you imply that it really happened, but then did it happen? And I should give it a rewatch, but I remember I was watching it with a friend in a theater full of like high schoolers, or you were just like laughing constantly at it. And just what it devolved into, I didn't vibe with it necessarily, which was a shame because like I said, I did really like that first half. I thought it was a pretty effective horror movie up until that point. Yeah, like I said, maybe it does deserve a rewatch because like the environment I was watching in maybe wasn't the best, but I can't imagine I'd boost the rating up significantly for it. I just think it's kind of a disappointment to me, and maybe that's not fair to compare it to his other movies, but comparatively, it felt lackluster in a lot of ways. So,
Sean?
Yeah, I think I it's hard because I don't like. I think it's a step down and kind of a big step down, but I don't think. I think the step down is specific. It's uh the the like message and the script was just so over the top, like over on the nose, and like its direction, I think, and the cinematography, I think is still like top notch in my opinion. But yeah, I could see like the ending. It could have been a better lead up. Like, it's just the plot was really to serve this one specific like purpose of saying this one sort of message that like I don't know, kind of was just a little simplistic and didn't really add as much. It didn't have as much nuances as former movies. But yeah, like the people I watched it with are kind of like saying like the ending pretty ridiculous. I mean that the build up I definitely wasn't there. But yeah, stylistically, I think he's still like I think from that and his show. Blanking on the name, Devs, which I still haven't finished. I think he's really got to work on the stories and the plots because the style is still there, I think. But I guess yeah, Annihilation was based off a book, and so that's a good one. Yeah, yeah. But like it's kind of like a don't look up sort of phenomenon where it's like, yeah, I agree with the thing he's saying in terms of like, yeah, men suck, but it's like um, there could have been more nuance and things done and more characters that aren't just serving the point of just saying that very simple message that most of his viewers are probably behind anyway. It could have like done more with the horror element. Like I was, and I mean, by all means, I think it was still a sort of I don't know what to say, like thrilling watch because I was freaking out. I'm not good with like horror movies, so when everything happened, I was still like it still affected me like in terms of my reactions. But yeah, overall like has much stronger works.
Yeah. Men is a mixed bag. I think it looks stunning. The red and green visuals look beautiful, and I think it is well shot. I think Jesse Buckley and Rory Kinnear are both really good, but when it comes to the message that Alex Garland tries to portray, it's very, it's lacking in a lot of the subtlety in his other work. Like all the metaphors are very spoon fed to us, and it just like feels really surface level because like the script is super shallow. I think it also doesn't work when your main female lead has no substance to her. Like she's this character that is meant to be she's not a character basically. Like she's a persona, and I think
The
that
whole
doesn't
point,
work
Matthew.
when you're trying to make a movie where all men are bad when your woman is not a character. And I feel like there could have been some work where it could become a better movie, but because it's also lacking in the subtle themes that I didn't like it.
I think that's a really good point. It could have done a lot more for like the sort of message he was trying to espouse if there was a strong female character as opposed to just saying all men like or like like men are bad.
Who plays the
Yeah.
female lead?
Jesse Buckley.
Jessie Buckley, she's really good.
That's
She
right.
is really good in the role, but I just feel like she could have had more to work with. Albert, you haven't seen this, have you?
No, I wanted to see Men, but I didn't get a chance to, and the mixed reviews. So
Mm-hmm. Sophie?
I saw this. I liked it. I loved the last 20 minutes. I thought they were insane. There was a guy sitting close to me, and he kept laughing. He was like, "What is going on?" Like he was like completely like going insane because I guess spoilers. You watch a man give birth like 5 times.
The body
Which
horror visuals are really cool. I like
they're
seeing
insane.
body
I
horror on
really
screen.
love that last sequence, and I actually liked how the man he plays like all men. That one guy. I thought that was pretty cool. The makeup is really good. The visuals are beautiful. It's stunning to look at.
I
Um,
would disagree about Rory Kinnear playing the kid. I think that looks it kind of
oh,
looked like Tintin
that
to
was
me.
that was kind of creepy.
I
I
was like,
forgot
this
about
looks
that.
rough.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it does look rough, but everything else, I thought it was pretty clever that they made that one guy play all the men. Um, it had me hooked the entire time because I was like, it's going somewhere, and then it went somewhere where I was like, oh, I did not think that's what's sort of gonna happen. Um, but did I like which one did I like more? This one or I watched 3,000 Years of Longing yesterday,
Oh, I want to see that.
and I liked it a lot. I actually thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I actually ended up liking it a lot. But I don't know where I placed it in terms of yeah, I definitely liked it more than Men. Men is like mid, but above mid because I give it points for the score is like so good. It's unsettling. I like how they use her vocals when she goes into the cave and she goes or whatever. I listen to it a lot. I think it's real. I like how they incorporate that into the score. I thought that was really good and unsettling. It's got like that vibe going for it the entire time, which I appreciated. Um, but yeah, there's a lot to appreciate there. I do like your points, Matthew. Yeah, I would have liked her to have a little more substance, because then it would have validated how bad all the men were, I guess. Because it is surface level. You are correct. Um, but even so, I still like how I thought the premise was interesting, and I like the Adam and Eve connotations to the film as well. I thought that was really interesting. There's a lot to unpack for sure. Maybe not as much as some people would like, or maybe there is too much to unpack. I don't know. But I did find it very, very, very interesting, and it definitely had me thinking about it for like the next week. So I'll give it points for that. But it's not Alex Garland's best. It's I think my third favorite from him. I think it's like Ex
Out
Machina,
of three.
Annihilation, Men
Yeah,
from the ones I've seen. So.
well, that's it. I mean, unless you count TV, but not
I,
that.
th- I,
Well,
I
didn't
think
he
it's
write
it.
Writing, I
28
guess.
Days Later?
He wrote he's the writer.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's where I'm at with Men. I would have it advanced, but Matthew, you're the only one who's seen Slow West, so I don't know how this is gonna work.
Yeah, well, I would have Slow West advanced because it's very clear that Men didn't work.
Oh,
Well, I would have Men
I
advanced, but I
well,
I
yeah,
cannot vote because I haven't seen both.
I still like some aspects of it. I wouldn't say like it as a whole doesn't. I mean, it's hard to say. Like
This is hard because I feel like
because works are not as like a binary. I have like more. I think nuanced thoughts than that. But if you've seen both and choose Slow West, I'm fine.
yeah, I feel like this is gonna lose whatever it goes up against next, regardless. So it's a non-issue. So yeah, if you choose Slow West,
Okay. Cameron saying he saw Patterson said the Bob's Burgers movie instead of Men, and so yeah, I think that was the right choice. Bob's Burgers
yeah,
movie.
probably. I didn't even like Bob's Burgers that much. It's still better than Men.
Yeah, I disagree. I like Men better.
I want to see Bob's Burgers, but
Ben saying Slow West is just fine. All right, and Slow West moves on.
That doesn't seem fair, but okay.
I don't know what else we can do about it, though. That's how we've been having everything else go.
Yeah, I think I like Men, but I'm not going to staunchly defend it. Like if you've seen Slow West, and I don't like it. Like yeah, it's complicated. I don't know. I'm deferring to you, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm the only person who has seen both. So, okay, then the next matchup we have is It Comes at Night versus How to Talk to Girls at Parties.
What? Oh,
I have also
studied for both of these. Okay, I remember these.
I can start with this one and say that I watched It Comes at Night this year. So, I know a lot of people have talked about how the trailers really show a different movie. kind of similar to Bodies, 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 where they advertise something and the movie is something else entirely. But I think still, I found it to be pretty suspenseful. I think there's like a lot of stuff that's unexplained, but that really kept me intrigued with where the movie was going and this just like uneasy atmosphere. I really enjoyed. I think Trey Edward Schultz does a really good job. I haven't seen. I need to watch Waves and Krisha, but this is like the only one I've seen so far.
I need to watch Krisha too.
Yeah, I feel like I don't completely understand everything yet, but I just really enjoyed the build to that great ending.
Cool.
Colin?
Yeah, let me see. I think I've seen this movie twice now, and I liked it a little more the second time. I think the ambiguity of a lot of things would make it hard for some people, and it made it impossible for me to truly love this film. But I did enjoy it a lot more the second time. I think in some aspects the ambiguity worked for me a little more. I'm not a huge fan of dream sequences, and this movie is very guilty of that. But it also lets you know it's a dream sequence because it changes the aspect ratio. And then it kind of like blurs the line at the end, which I thought was pretty cool, because like it kind of feels like reality is becoming almost a nightmare, or at least that's how I interpreted it. So I think it definitely has some cool things, but like you said, the marketing was really working against it, and I think the film is still, even all these years later, still trying to find its footing and all of that, because it looked very cool. It looked very cool in the trailers, and then it got mixed reviews, so I waited a while on it, and I'm glad I did. It's fine. I like it more than the other film we're going to talk about. So yeah, it's a decent movie.
Do you want to just go straight into how to talk to girls at parties, Colin?
Yeah, sure. So this is an interesting movie, to say the least, because I thought it was gonna be like a fun, quirky teenage comedy, and instead it devolves into teenage boy meets a group of aliens at this party. So yeah, I guess the interpretation is there is that girls are like aliens or something. I don't know. I was a little tired when I watched it, but it's harmless. It's fun, I guess. It doesn't feel like it tries anything interesting. Some of the dance sequences and the costumes the aliens wear are fun, but it just feels like it could have done more. And if it was going to be like that weak, like story and symbolism wise, it could have been funnier, and it wasn't funnier. Maybe British humor is just not my thing. I think that's where it's from. So yeah, it's fine. It Comes at Night is better, easily.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like British humor and other things. It just for this one it didn't work.
Yeah,
I appreciate the visual aesthetic of the movie because I just think it looks really good. And there are pieces of it that I like, but I feel like when the movie brings me in, it takes me out again with like wherever the plot decides to go, and so it doesn't really work. And Elle Fanning, she's great though. I think Elle Fanning's great.
yeah, she does a pretty good job.
But yeah, there's definitely some messages about like freedom, you know, but I just feel like the movie doesn't really come together well enough for it to do anything. So okay, and I think It Comes at Night. It moves on.
Fair enough.
Okay, just
Yeah,
to make
pretty
sure I'm
easy
not
there.
I'm not missing anyone who has seen these movies before we go on to the
I
next.
saw It Comes at Nights, but I echo everything you
Okay.
guys said. Like the marketing is super misleading. I don't remember much of it outside of Joel Edgerton and Carmen Ojogo. I believe she's in there. And yeah, again, like the misleading marketing really threw me off. So
That's
that's it.
fair. All right. Then we'll move on to our next matchup. Obvious Child versus The Spectacular Now.
Mm,
So, who has seen Obvious Child?
I have not.
Nope.
I have not.
Okay, so Justin again. All right. Yeah, I really like this movie. I think Jenny Slate is
Jenny
just
Slate, right?
yeah, Jenny Slate's great. I just really heartwarming. It's also just really funny too. You know, it's a Jenny Slate A24 movie, so there's bound to be some comedy in it. Um, except for in On the Rocks, I guess. She's probably the best part of On the Rocks. I don't think I mentioned that, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember just being super charmed by it. She's very likable, and I think just this person trying to avoid adulthood, you know, is about just unplanned pregnancy, and I think it works really well. Cameron's comment. But yeah, you know, just being 20 something and navigating life, it just that coming of age style works and really smartly written screenplay. So yeah, that's a good one. Who has seen The Spectacular Now?
I have.
I have.
Now.
I started it.
Why don't you finish it?
I did not actually enjoy the start. Very much not. But whatever.
Brie Larson's in this one, right?
Yeah.
No, she is.
The cast
man.
is big.
It's-
Mary Elizabeth
it's-
Winstead,
it's-
Kyle Chandler.
I remember when Sarah pulled Brie Larson out of her ass and got it right.
Oh, I remember when
It was
Sarah.
for this movie, right?
That's really funny.
But let's start with Albert, since I feel like you've seen the least of these movies.
Yeah. Spectacular Now. It's a decent coming of age movie. It's not. I don't even know if it's top 5. Probably top 10 because I cannot think of 10 coming of age. I'm pretty sure I have, but it's definite. There are parts that I like. There are parts that I dislike. Again, based on my memory, I think Shailene Woodley was kind of good. I wasn't the biggest fan of. Wait, this is Miles Teller, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm not mistaking him with someone else. Yeah, I don't remember liking Teller too much in this. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead in this, and I thought Brie Larson was doing a good job with her role as well. And the dad, I believe, was it Kyle Chandler?
I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think he did a good job too. But like the whole plot, the plot is I don't remember much of the plot. But like I remember liking it all right. Like there's nothing that really hooked me in terms of coming of age. Usually when it comes to coming of age, there's something that I found like relatable, which makes me want to revisit it. But nothing really hooked me in that term from this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I cannot for the life of me remember much of the plot. Maybe that's saying something. So
Sophie?
The Spectacular Now was all right. I thought it was a nice little coming of age rom-com with like some more deeper messages. I don't know. I haven't seen this one in a while. I had fun with it. It was entertaining. It wasn't like incredible. Like it didn't really resonate with me that much. A lot of it was a little bit surface level, but it wasn't like bad by all means. I enjoyed the chemistry with Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I haven't seen Obvious Child, but it's been on my list. But Spectacular Now, it's solid. It's good. I like it.
Colin?
Yeah, so clearly I don't remember all this film because I did forget Brie Larson was in it. But yeah, I think Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley had pretty decent chemistry in this, and I thought the dialogue between them was pretty good. I feel like other than that, it's like a pretty surface level script. And I'm reading my Letterboxd review here, and I really didn't like how like Sutter turns Amy into like a really heavy drinker, and then that never gets brought up again. It's like towards the movie, it's like end of the movie, it's getting pretty bad, and then obviously there's a falling out towards the end. I believe she goes to college. But yeah, I feel like that was a very big thing to leave unaddressed, and then I think that's like a smaller symptom of like just the script not like leaving a lot of things on the table as a whole. But it's good. Like I said, the chemistry really carries the movie, and there's it's decent. It's
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's a, totally standard coming of age movie. Not a lot of it like really stuck with me, and so like yeah, I don't remember a lot of the plot, but it's fine. Spence is a fan though with
Okay.
the all caps. Spectacular now.
mm,
Remind me if I'm wrong, and spoilers warning. Did did Shailene Woodley got hit by a car in this one,
Thinking
or am I thinking of a different film?
of Regina George getting hit by a bus.
no, I think
Kidding. No,
they
I
get
think
into
she
like an
actually did.
accident or something.
She got
Yeah.
into an
I,
accident. I don't think she got hit by a
I think that's
car.
probably the only moment that I remember, because I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Oh shit, wait, that happens in
Well, I remember
after.
something about her
After we
like something
collided, yeah,
bad.
Yeah, after
I
we
remember.
collided.
Is
Why
that
she gets
what
it.
the we collided
classic.
is supposed to represent in the title?
Yeah,
The car collision.
the car
Yeah,
collision.
Amy does get clipped by a passing car. It says here.
Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, Spence also saying Taylor and Woodley are great, but Chandler is giving his all. I don't really remember his performance that well. But
He has a good scene. I remember when they go and visit him in like a bar or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Albert, you could have brought this up.
I know, but someone else was talking, so
Yeah, best movie starring Woodley and Taylor for sure. I think.
easily.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I would personally go with Obvious Child over The Spectacular now. But
I'm not gonna
I
fight
mean,
you
you
over
guys
that
aren't
one.
like super hot on it, so like, unless you are, you can let me know. But
I am not gonna fight that. No.
Alright, I'm assuming that having no response means you guys are fine with Obvious Child moving on, so that will move on. And we will move on to our next matchup, which is Green Room versus The End of the Tour.
How many more do we have left?
Like
I'm
three
rounding
in
to
the
them.
first
So
round.
including this four.
I think there's 4 more matchups. Wait, no, 3 more matchups, including this one.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. 3 more.
Ooh.
So
So wait, who's
yeah, we
seen
can start
Green
with Green
Room?
Room. Who's seen Green Room?
I've seen Green
I
Room.
I am seeing it right now. I'm in the middle of the film right now as we speak. I'm not gonna lie. So if it advances, I can talk about it in round 2. But if it doesn't advance, then oh well.
You're watching Green Room right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Okay. How much are you absorbing of it if you're also on a podcast?
I'm absorbing it very well.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know why I didn't like Green Room. I feel like I should rewatch it but maybe it's like too uncomfortable to watch. But who knows? It's been a while, so I don't know why I didn't like it. But I haven't seen the end of the tour, so I'll let whoever has seen Green Room 2, talk about it.
I like Green Room. I like it quite a bit. It's pretty gritty and violent. Patrick Stewart plays a skinhead, which is an unusual role for him, I would say, because usually he's doing something good, and in this film he's very much not. So it's a fun role. Anton Yelchin, a very good performance from him. Yeah, it's there's a lot of surprising stuff in this film. It's, and like I said, very brutal and violent. You have to be. Yeah, I can't say it's not for everybody. I feel like I don't know how much this will improve on rewatch for you, Matthew. But it's only 95 minutes, so if you're into films like that, it's a very quick watch, and it's got a really fun ending, I would say. For sure, I like the ending quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the band, the band at the beginning when they actually do get to perform. They're fun to watch. They don't get to perform for super long because of stuff, but
Yeah, that's true. Spence saying that they would, they've only seen Green Room, but they think they love Tour. So, so who's seen the end of the tour?
seen clips of it, but that was in high school and it was such a long time ago.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I like this one. I think I used to be a lot more into David Foster Wallace in high school, so this one I was a really big fan of. Uh, and yeah, I don't know, it's got a really like I think Jason Segel and Jesse Eisenberg both do well and fit their roles. Got a more like melancholy kind of feel due to, I mean, what happened with the real life author, but I think it's like the one of the end, like the ending sequence is one of my favorites, and it still sticks. And I like the whole sort of like I don't know, slightly out of focus, like up close, like in the more wistful, not wistful, but like sentimental music. Like the score is really good. I think it's the big truth, the big something, the big ship by Brian Eno is like amazing. Like the sort of I don't know how to describe it, just like very um, I don't know, melancholy, but like synthetic feel. It's like yeah, I really like this one, but I don't know how this is gonna shape out. If, Colin hasn't seen it, and I haven't seen Green Room.
Who's going to be the first to?
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it in a while, but
how much do you like this film? Because I gave Green Room 4 stars out of 5.
I think I'm gonna double check, but I think I gave this one 4 stars.
Right. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, this is. I feel like this is kind of a seems like a tie for both of us because I do like this one a fair amount, but I haven't seen it in a while, and so I mean, if you're like I said, I used to be a more bigger fan of David Foster Wallace's writing, but I haven't. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of it in a while. Let me see. Where did I rank it? Okay, so I did.
Right.
I did rate it 4, and it's 14 for me out of my A24 films, like out of 37.
Dang.
So it's upper for me. I haven't seen Green Room.
Is there anyone in the comments
like
who has seen?
Yeah,
both?
I feel like we might need to give this to comments.
Yeah.
Oh, James Ponsel also directed The Spectacular Now. Ew. Oh man. I'm curious how I would like it on rewatch.
What if I say that right now Green Room is 5 stars because I haven't seen anything bad about it yet? It might decrease over the span of the film, but right now it's 5 star.
I like the end of the tour, but I feel like you like Green Room more than I like the end of the tour, even though it's a very good movie. Like,
all right,
fair.
Because I know I'm pretty sure you've mentioned the Green Room before, and I think you're.
I mean, I do like it.
Yeah. Like I just think the end of the tour is like a quality movie, but it's I guess it's not one that if it were to take away Green Room from you, I don't want to do that.
All right, I mean that sounds good to me.
Yeah, because there's other movies I will I think more staunchly defend.
So which movie is moving forward?
Green Room. I'm okay with it.
Green Room. Okay. Green Room moves forward, and we will go to the mashup I think we've all been dreading. The Florida Project versus Everything Everywhere all at once.
I'm not dreading this. I think this is pretty easy for me, actually.
I think it's easy, but it sucks that one of them has to be out after round 1.
Why couldn't we pair the Florida Project with like freaking Dick Long, you know?
Hole in the Ground is really stupid, yeah.
Well, who's going first though?
Albert, have you seen the Florida Project?
I have. I like it a lot. I think just the whole vibe of it. There's like not much plot to it, but it's not really a hangout movie, so it's sort of like a mix in between, I guess. But like just the whole vibe of it just feels so right. Willem Dafoe's performance is fantastic, and the two leads, the kid and the older sister, they did a great. Wait, is this sister or is it mom? I don't remember. But but they both were really good in it. And yeah, just the overall vibe, just like I just like it a lot from all of that.
Sophie?
I could talk about this movie forever, but I'm just gonna say for now that this movie's basically like a modern masterpiece, and it's one of the best that A24 has come out with in a while. So yeah, um, this is gonna go far. I hope. I love everything about this movie. I probably will bump it up to a 10 if I rewatch it. I think I've seen it like
Sophie?
3 times.
I was about to say
Sophie,
you
we're
gave
talking
it
about
three
the
and a
Florida
half.
Project.
Oh fuck! Well,
I was
I'm
gonna say,
I
were
was,
you
I was
being
just about to say
everything
she gave it
everywhere all
three
at
and a
once.
half in the
were
Florida
you
I got
being
Project.
so
intentionally
confused.
ambiguous?
Okay, so we'll talk about the Florida Project. This is actually the first movie I watched with one of my letterbox friends. Um, yeah. I actually like this one. I think the ending is my favorite. Although it does, I calculated the route that they ran to Disney. Like it's actually 20 minute, like it's like a 20-minute drive. So the fact that they just walked over there, no way. They have to cross I-4. Like no, it doesn't work.
They ran.
Even worse.
That's why it's 3.5 stars. It's just like not accurate.
No, no. I actually thought it was great. The pace was like a little slow, but I guess if I rewatch it now, it'll probably be better. But I actually really enjoyed the mother-daughter relationship, like her trying to do everything she could to, provide her daughter with a good life, even though what they had wasn't a lot. Um, yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Colin?
I have not seen the Florida Project. One of my big movie sins, especially since I like Red Rocket so much. But I've yet to see it. I committed a Sean sin and I started it and I didn't finish it.
Sean said.
Yeah.
That's a
Sean, what do
Yeah.
you have to say?
I don't regret sinning for the spectacular. Now I didn't want to finish that. I can't remember the other ones I started and didn't finish. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
fine when you
anyway.
don't like a movie.
Yeah. The other two, it's just generally a time thing, I think. But the Florida Project, I think it's like Sophie said, slow, and looks cool. But I think I'm gonna say I think Sean Baker's a little overrated. He's not my favorite filmmaker. I wish I liked him more because his name is Sean also. But Red Rocket, I think, was also very hyped. I thought it was going to be funnier, like a bit more. I don't know, like
It's
I thought there was going to be
hilarious.
more to it. But I don't know. It's like very slice of life stuff, and it's like if you're not vibing with it, like I don't know, it's hard for me to get into it. Like I I can see why people, I guess, are super into the Florida Project and Red Rocket, but like I don't know, there's just styles I think I prefer, and like less to just sort of like people vibing around doing stuff. Like I want a little bit more, I feel like, and I think everything everywhere all at once is almost like on a different wavelength that I just vibe with a lot more. But
Can I say something about the Florida Project?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found it interesting that whenever like whenever it was the point of view from, I think it was most of the time, but the camera was basically shot from the height of children, so it was almost always looking up at the adults, which I think is a nice little touch on how it's basically the perspective of the child going through all of this her life, and I thought that was pretty cool. I just wanted to mention that was a pretty. I mean, it's gonna lose to everything everywhere all at once, but there's some redeeming qualities that should be mentioned, because the Florida Project is
Yeah.
a great movie.
The Florida Project is incredible. Like I really love it. It is. I think it's really interesting what Sean Baker does is presenting this area of Florida and like showing these characters and their difficult situation. I think Um, Brooklyn Prince is incredible as the little girl, and just like her relationship with the mother and like her group of friends is really fun to watch. I think Willem Dafoe is amazing. I think this is once like it's been a while since I've seen this, but I still remember watching the scene with the pedophile, and I'm just like I'm still like creeped out by it. It's just like really well done. What like Sean Baker, how Sean Baker directs it, and ending's incredible. Cameron in the comments saying Red Rocket is better.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Which I
I did
disagree.
enjoy Red Rocket more than Florida Project. That's just me. I had way more fun with Red Rocket. That movie was wild.
What does everyone else think about Red Rocket or the Florida Project?
Have not seen Red Rocket.
I think I prefer Red Rocket, but I mean, I don't know. It's like they're so similar in their style and tones.
Red Rocket, good.
Okay, well, let's move on to Everything Everywhere All at Once, and well, we can skip Sophie because I think you already said all your
I already
thoughts, and
said
you
what I
wanted.
needed to say. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. I mean, I did want to say one more thing before we move on. If we're gonna skip me, the score is phenomenal. Probably one of the best scores from an A24 movie. And I
The
listen to
best
it every
use
day.
of Claire de Lune.
Yeah. Hold on. Yes. But there have been other really good uses of it too. But I think I will say it is the best use of the Claire de Lune. Wow. Well, oh, hold on. Come on uses it very nicely too. I will say that. But no, yeah. Everything Everywhere takes the cake for that. So I guess someone else can talk about it.
Okay, we can go to Colin.
Yeah, it's hard to top anything Sophie said about why this movie is so good. I will say a lot of my friends hate A24 movies, and I occasionally drive them to releases, and they all love this one. I think this one accomplishes what a lot of A24 movies already do so well, but also has broad audience appeal. And I think the fact that I believe it's the highest grossing A24 movie at the box office, and I think that's a testament to that. It's really, really good. I don't think it tops A Ghost Story for me. I think only because of my personal connection to that movie. But I mean, I think I currently have this at number 2 or 3 out of every A24 movie. And that says a lot because there's a lot of quality films in that top 20. So yeah, I don't think I can add much more, but it's an amazing film.
Sean?
Yeah, my rating like list is pretty old. Like I realized Min wasn't on earlier when we were talking about it, but like putting Everywhere Everything All at Once, like I think it's my favorite A24 now. Like it's just the like wild and insane style that it has is like I just love that. I mean, I've seen sort of like criticisms of like this sort of like I don't know, sort of like almost now cliche, like postmodern, like sort of message. And but I think this one, even if you don't like that sort of movement or I don't know, like style of filmmaking, I think this one is the top of its class in that style. And I think the messages that it has are great. I think the family storyline and drama and like emotion is just near the end. It's like so powerful. All the acting is great, and I think shout out to like the what is it like the makeup and costume artists. Like that's like some great work there. The editing is just amazing. I think I've seen also issues with the runtime, but I didn't feel it. Like it was like I it was just such a blast, like nonstop. And there's, I mean, a lot has been done with multiverse like things, but I think it was just so endlessly creative and fresh with what I think could be like, seen as like a, sort of, I don't know, overdone concept But yeah, it's amazing. I don't know. I don't want to go on.
I know I can go on forever, so I want Albert to talk before me because I feel like if I start talking, I will leave nothing for Albert to talk about.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was just ranking my A24 because I don't have a ranking. Um, but yeah, I love this film. I'll just start with the negatives first, I guess. The only thing that I probably have it's not even an issue, but something that I felt was what Sean said. The runtime I actually did felt the runtime. But aside from that, I don't really have any problem with the film at all. I thought the performances are great. Hold on, I want to look up the guy who plays the dad. I forget his name.
Hey, Hui Kwan.
Yep, you said it. So yeah, that K Hugh. I cannot even say it. I'm sorry,
Hui.
but yeah, he is great. Love him in that role, as well as James Hong, who plays the grandfather as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's pretty
Um,
great.
and yeah, just it's very creative. Like Sean said, the whole multiverse aspect has been done, especially recently. Everyone's doing it, but I thought the way how they do it with the jumping and everything was like really smart and creative. Um, and yeah, there's just so many things that I like. This, I mean, we're doing spoilers, right? So
Yeah.
the stuff with the sausage fingers, I freaking love that universe. Everyone loves the Ratatouille. That one's fantastic. But one of my favorite ones that, I mean, throughout the whole film, I was like, okay, this film is great. But there is a scene in the middle of the film that makes me like, okay, this film is like getting a 5 star, 100%. It's when they turn to rocks, and I was like, that is insane. That is
The scene of
ridiculous,
the
and
year.
I freaking love it. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'll let Matthew take it away.
Okay. So going off of Albert, what you said about the references, I like that it's not just like references for references' sake. Like each reference has a reason to be there, and they all come back to like the overall themes and overarching themes of the movie. And so like I feel like that really adds to having just for a movie to just have references, you know.
Hmm.
But I have seen Everything Everywhere All at Once 4 times now. I think
Wow.
the first time I watched it, it can be a little bit overwhelming because like there's a lot of information being thrown at you. Like trying to learn all the multiverse hopping and like all
Mhm.
that. It can be a little bit much, but I feel like having seen it multiple times now, it's easier to just like let it wash over you and kind of like have the themes like wash over you as well. Because I think the ideas that it deals with the nothing matters is just really incredible. Like how because like nothing matters, then everything matters as well. Where like that like dichotomy. And I know Sean, you probably have stuff to say about the message of like nothing matters as well. If you want to touch on that some more, but yeah.
Yeah, like I think like the philosophy in the movie was really well done because like yeah, I think I'm looking at my own review to get my like fresh thoughts when I wrote it, but like the sort of message of like we're so inundated with all this like information that it can be easy to like have a sort of nihilistic outlook on a lot of things. I think the film does a great sort of job of both like embracing that, but also figuring out a way to operate within it. And like I think kind of rejecting it. I'm a bit of more of an optimist myself, but like sometimes it can be hard when you think like how much out there even without a multiverse, but how much is just in the world is going on that we like um, like can't do much about or like just so much information is coming at us and it can be hard to like handle all that um, like the main character is trying to do, but the fact that just it goes back to such a simple like premise of like you know just the mom like just caring for the daughter even like in the midst of all that like um, I think it's the like a very strong message from the filmmakers and very relevant. But yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, and I really like that, like, even when the idea is that, like, nothing matters, the idea that, like, the people, because you have people surrounding you that love you, like, especially with Wayman's philosophy of, like, kindness and showing that kindness to people, I think is really special, and we really need that in our world.
Yeah, that I just remembered like someone who will just like do the laundry for you or things like that. Like something so small having meaning like that has absolutely a message like I like adore and just like vibe with so much because like once you like get into it, like really even with all the multiverses that she's dealing with, if you find like one person who will do this like small thing, it means a lot more than it seems in the grand vastness of whatever. Like
Yeah. If I'm bringing something up, you guys can just like interject if you guys want. I don't want to be like taking over this entire thing. But also just like because Joe Tapaki is joy and people in the Alphaverse thought that she was creating the Everything Bagel to destroy all the universes, when in actuality, she only wanted to find someone to like understand what she was going through. And I feel like that's another message where I really love seeing that. Like, even if you're the most nihilistic person in the world, nothing matters. You still want someone else to like know what that feels like, and like I feel like that's adds to the themes.
and yeah, that kind of like I think almost denies that the philosophy of nihilism. Like you're still searching for one thing like that has significance, and so like the fact that nothing matters, but she still wants to like find something that does is like I think just yeah. So there's very strong philosophical like message from the film that I really appreciated and agreed with.
Yeah, and I think outside of the message of that, there's also the idea of just like love. Because outside of the universes, I think just love is a big one, because like in the hot dog universe, like and like Evelyn telling Deirdre that she is loved, and we see that Deirdre and Evelyn, they have a relation in the hot dog universe, and I think that theme really is something else that adds to it.
Yeah, the family. I think the family aspect is one of the strongest parts of the film. I really honestly want to rewatch it now that we've been talking about it. I've been meaning to since it came to the DVD. I've been wanting to, but I haven't gotten a chance. Um, yeah, I loved it in theaters.
Yeah, I think my personal favorite performance is definitely Sue. I just think she plays that really well. Playing all different sides. Like, she's able to play Joy as well as Joe Tabaki, and just do them so perfectly. And yeah, personally, she's my favorite. But they're all incredible. Like, Keihu Kwan's my second favorite, probably, and then Michelle Yeoh. But like, I don't think anyone is giving a bad performance. And just also seeing Evelyn's growth throughout the movie. She's at the beginning, she's very just like busy, 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 and like she's not paying attention to anything. But then, like by the end of the movie, she kind of like learns the importance of her relationship with Wayman, and like because of what she's dealing with the generational trauma with her father. I think is when she finally stands up to him. Yeah, I think there's like a big cathartic moment there for us as the audience as well. Uh, yeah.
I'll just add this. I've only seen it once, and I think that's something that flew over my like the whole message that you guys are talking about. It definitely flew over my head during the first watch because I
You
was
gotta
so
watch it.
overwhelmed with everything.
It benefits from a rewatch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why it's definitely deeper than how it's represented the first time around, and like you said, it all flew by my head. So I'm really interested to rewatch it and see all that message coming in. And like I said in the beginning, I felt the runtime, but like I did feel it, but like it's earned. Like they need every single part of the runtime. So yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think that idea of generational trauma. There's been a lot of movies dealing with that recently, and so I think
Turning
there
red.
is something very
Yeah.
potent about like having to meet your family expectations. I don't know if like even if it's not exactly like one to one, I feel like there is that like there's a truth to that, and I know sometimes you can feel like you're being pushed, at least for me, but I think there's like a lot of heart from where your parents are coming from. So yeah. And then I think another thing I wanted to bring up is like the thing that the movie
Okay, we're
does is how it uses language in how Mandarin, Cantonese, and English are used, because Gong Gong would speak Cantonese, and then Wayman would use Mandarin, and then Joy would use English. And I think the connectivity of language is another thing that really adds to it. I feel like there's so much there that, like, on first watch you really don't get, and like you were saying, Albert, but
Right.
I think
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
definitely
honestly,
get
that's something I didn't realize, or I realized when I was watching it, but I didn't think about it until you just mentioned it. That's another really cool aspect of the film, because I love when there's linguistic diversity in film.
Yeah, because at least for me, because I understand Mandarin, and like I know when someone's speaking Cantonese, it's because that's like what I speak, or I speak Mandarin, so it's just like, and I've been surrounded by people who speak Cantonese, so like I think I noticed it more than other people would have. But
I would like to point out that it's been 2 hours and
yeah,
we're only on the first round.
well, we're almost done. We got.
Are we gonna
one
pair
more.
these with the other side of the bracket, or?
There's only,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
we will,
there's
we
only
will.
two on the other side, right?
That's right.
Who won? Who won
Only
the other
two.
side?
I don't
There's
even
four,
know.
I think.
None of
I'll
my
bring it.
favorites.
We
Oh, there
left
was
four.
final four. Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can speed run the like.
But
Yeah,
we're gonna
we've
speed run
already
it
we've already
through
talked about all of
round
them.
two.
So
Yeah,
Round two,
that's
we'll go
why
through them really quickly, but
I haven't eaten
this
dinner
is the
yet
one that
either,
I like
Sophie.
wanted to speak on.
Yes, this one deserves a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
I
so-
camped off to eat dinner.
I
Yeah,
ate dinner right
so-
before. 'Cause I was
Mhm.
That's a
starving.
good idea. I'm also down for going a bit faster after this.
Okay. Yeah, I also just like how the Evelyn that's the savior of the multiverse is the one who's like the worst Evelyn, because like I just feel like that message of the improvement, and like how even though there are negatives to your life, like having hot dogs for fingers, there's still positive, like being good with your feet.
That
So
was so funny.
yeah, I think that's also really a strong point. Outside of
Anytime that
but
Yeah.
Sophie, go ahead.
I said, anytime they showed the hot dog finger
Yeah.
scene, I just died of laughter. It
Mhm.
was so funny, and
I
it
think
has no right to be, but it is.
I think one of the funniest bits with that is that there's a scene where hot dog finger Deirdre is leaving, and so she uses her foot to carry her suitcase. And I don't know if like you guys noticed it, because I've seen it 4 times
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I noticed it. I thought that
Yeah.
was great, and the foot playing the piano or whatever. I thought that was.
And then like Deirdre has like the cast thing on her foot in that
Oh,
universe.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's great. And outside of the themes that we've been talking about, it's also just a really funny movie. It's also the action is incredible, like the stunt work with
Oh yeah,
the fanny pack
and the
fight
visual
scene.
effects are incredible too.
Yeah, and it's such a
It's
low
for
budget.
5
It's
people too.
it's-
Yeah.
it's crazy. And like most of the movie is set in a RS building, and it just like feels so grand.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the butt plug scene is hilarious, but like also features some really
Yeah.
good stunts. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to say. I'm sure I could talk about more, but yeah, and then obviously the Everything Bagel and Googly Eyes inversion that I know a lot of people have mentioned, but I feel like there's something really cool about being, not the ideas of nihilism, adding to the themes. I'm not going to go more. We've been talking about it already. So, yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven saying Florida Project losing to Everything Everywhere All at Once is sad, but
No, it's not sad. It
Yeah.
had it coming,
Yeah.
dude.
I know it's not for some people, but like that's
what
I
is
think that's the
Steven's rating
minority.
for this film?
Well, I guess
curious.
maybe he
Right?
means it's sad that it was paired up with such a great movie. Like Florida's Project didn't stand a chance.
I think Steven gave it like 2 stars or something, if that.
Yeah,
Oh, he didn't like
it's,
it. Oh well, you know what? That's his problem.
I've read a
That's-
minority of
Nice.
reviews. Kind of,
not surprising.
it's
that's
definitely
isn't
not for
correct.
some people, but I think that's the minority. No offense.
Yeah, I think it is. But okay, then we will move on to our last matchup in round 1. Life After Beth versus The Vivitch.
Oh my God, there's more. Jesus Christ.
This is the last one,
This-
right?
Last one.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Okay, I'll speed
Oh,
run like
round
Beth
one.
part. It's like funny. It's kind of like zombie comedy with Aubrey Plaza. It's a fun time, but I feel like The Witch, which I haven't seen, is probably going to get beat because it's Robert Eggers, and I mean, heck, he's a really good director. And Life After Beth is just kind of a mid comedy, mid zombie comedy. Um, I think it's a comedy. It wasn't. It wasn't super. It wasn't super funny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
It was
comedy. It's
blurring
like
a line
fun-
between horror and comedy. Yeah, romance. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say. I haven't seen The Witch.
Albert.
Yeah, I finished Life After Beth in the beginning of the show. I was finishing it up, but yeah, I liked it okay. I feel like I said this for a lot of these, but I like it okay. It was not what I was expecting. It took a weird turn, like somewhere down the middle when they reveal that it's a zombie thing. I thought it was at first like some kind of like psychological thriller or something like that, but suddenly when they turned to the zombies and everything went absurd, and then like all the dead bodies come to life, I'm like, oh, this is where we're going. And then suddenly like it all just ended. Like that was weird. I thought Aubrey Plaza did a good performance. Dane DeHaan is okay. I feel like he does the same thing every time he's on screen. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about it really.
Why'd you pick the mid movies? Why'd you watch the mid movies?
So I watched Life After Beth because I saw it's gonna be down in the bracket, which means I have enough time to finish it if I decide to finish it, and I've seen The Witch, so that way I could compare it to it. So that's the only reason I watch it.
Well, because you watch Hot Summer Nights too, and I was like, you have not been watching the good ones. I feel
that one was because I randomized it on a wheel, and then it landed on it, and I decided to watch it. So. But and Anna Kendrick appeared out of nowhere, which is weird. But yeah.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I think it's all right. I think it's a fun time.
There are some funny moments.
We can talk about The Witch, and it's been a little while since I've seen it, but I like The Witch.
Let me know
though.
when the discussion is over. I don't want any spoilers for the Witch because I haven't seen it.
Take out your headphones, and we'll give you a thumbs up when it's done.
But I do really like Robert Eggers, and I just feel like the atmosphere is really well done. Anya Taylor-Joy is incredible, and yeah, I don't want to say too much because I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll go to Colin.
Yeah, it's also been a bit for me, but I really enjoy this film. I think it's definitely Eggers' weakest film, but it's like, with that being said, it's still really good. The old-timey English makes it a little bit difficult for, I think, a lot of people. I didn't mind that, and I think the fact that it was still pretty easy to figure out what they were talking about. It just takes maybe a couple seconds longer to maybe think, just because of some of the nuances of how they're speaking. But it's very well done period piece. I'm pretty sure he used mostly natural lighting for it, and it looks gorgeous. And it's scary. I mean, it's a scary horror film, it's modern. I feel like even though I dig a lot of modern horror, not all of it's scary, and I think the Witch still manages to be scary, especially the ending. So I think it's a very good film, and I mean, based on, I haven't seen Life After Beth, but based on what Sean said, I feel like I shouldn't have any issue winning the matchup.
Okay.
Do I go or Sean go?
I haven't seen The Witch, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go then. This is, I just finished my ranking. This is my number 10 out of the 30 something A24 film I've seen. I think this is Robert Eggers' best film. This is my favorite of his films anyway. And yeah, I think the performances are great. This is one of my very first Anya Taylor-Joy movies I've seen, and I absolutely love her in this. Ralph Ineson, who plays the dad, I thought played a great job as well in this film, as well as Kate Dickie, who plays the mom. And yeah, just the whole vibe. I think the word chilling is what's fitting to describe this film. I think this film is very chilling. There is a sense of the unknown, and I think it all the way until the very end with the Black Phillip, the goat, which when the Black Phillip scenes happened, I was like, God damn, that was spectacular. But the production design is great. The set, not the set, it's the same thing. The costume design is fantastic with the timepiece and everything. yeah, no, it's just super chilling. It's one of my favorite horror films of like the 2010s. Yeah, I just absolutely love it, and yeah, the performance really carries the whole thing.
Yeah, I would agree. The witches should move on.
Mm-hmm. It's very weird to compare these two, but yeah, The Witch definitely.
I mean, they're both like horror esque. I mean, one is clearly horror. But, like,
yeah.
all right. Let's go to round 2 and start with the
Oh,
death.
Sophie, thumbs up. I don't think she's seeing
Oh
this.
yeah, the death of Dicklon versus Lamb. I feel like.
I'm back.
Oh, also, I forgot to bring up Steven's comment. For the project is the only movie that made him ugly cry. So this is just more of him
okay.
repping for the project and like
That's fair.
tearing down everything.
Mm.
I don't know how we do this because I have not seen Lamb.
I haven't seen it yet.
And
Has
Sophie
anybody
has not
seen both? I don't think anybody's seen both of these, right?
But I am very apathetic towards Death of Dicklon moving forward. So if Sophie
Oh
is,
no,
has,
Lamb has to move on.
okay, Lamb moves on. That's fine with
That
me.
movie is beautiful, but also so freaking weird. Like beautiful because Iceland, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of want to see Lab more than the death of the Klong, if that.
Do you want to see the death of Lamb?
I think I'm okay. Combine
Okay,
the two
well
films
then,
together.
I will bring up our next matchup: American Honey versus Mid 90s.
Okay, this one's easy.
I abstain from voting because I haven't seen both.
Yeah, this one's easy. Mid 90s.
I'm in 90s.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. I haven't seen American Honey, but
All right. Next up, we have Laggies versus Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Another easy one for me. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies moves on.
I would also choose Bodies, but I haven't seen Laggies, so I guess
earlier I was going to compare it to While We're Young by Noah Baumbach.
Oh, yeah.
Also A24 apparently.
Mhm.
But Bodies, Bodies, Bodies goes by apparently. Yeah.
Okay. Our next matchup is Uncut Gems versus High Life.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut
Uncut
Gems.
Gems.
All right.
I love how it took 2 hours for the first like.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes.
That's what
like we were talking about the movies. Unless you
we
have
were
like something
discussing
you
the
really want to say.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
It might take a little long because I need to like make sure I have the bracket up, like I have the banners ready. So next one is After Yang versus Marcel the Shell with Shoes.
Ooh.
Oh,
Two
I
recent
haven't seen
releases.
one, but
I haven't seen After Yang, but I love
because I haven't
Marcel
seen
the
After
Shell.
Yang. Oh no.
Oh wait, so hold on. 2 people have seen After Yang, 2 have seen Marcel.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have to
Albert,
go in the
seen-
comments for this one.
Wait, Albert, what have you seen?
I haven't seen either, but I want to see Marcel more than After Yang.
No.
Oh, then
Dang.
Marcel wins.
I don't know if that
Yes,
should count
way
or
to
I don't know
do
if that
it.
should count or
Yeah,
not.
no,
I feel
please.
it
I
doesn't
don't know
feel
what
fair.
choice we have.
The
Doesn't
unbiased
seem
person, I guess, would have to vote because yeah, I don't know. I guess it's only fair for this matchup for Albert to be the one who votes.
Oh my
Come
god.
on. I feel like I did that last time.
Sway
and
me.
it's going to
Convince
bite
me why one is better than the other.
After Yang is a gorgeous movie, and it's got this conversation about tea that is amazing. You'll never be more excited
actually.
about tea in your entire life.
Like this and Everything Everywhere All at Once, like are very, I think, like good at like representing, like it's a very interesting representation of Asian American culture with After Yang, because, but anyway, I like the sci-fi element. I think it's like really cool because it's like, it's this like android brother like thing. It's just, I don't know about Marcel the Shell. Like honestly, that looks like a bit too kind of like sentimental for me. Like it looks like almost drenched in like cuteness that I'm a little leery of it, I think.
Albert, did you like Columbus?
I haven't seen
No.
Columbus.
You haven't seen
Marcel the
Columbus.
Shell also has a Thomas Mann show. Thomas Mann and Rosa Salazar are in the movie.
I like Rosa Salazar.
Oh,
That's fine.
Dance. You got to see the dance sequence. If nothing else.
This how is this fair? I don't know.
Like
This
the
so-
stop motion animation is also just like really well shot.
There's a sequence when he's looking through the memories of Yang. It may not be stop motion, but it is visually spectacular.
I think
Is there no one
whatever
in the chat
passes
that have seen
is going to
both?
go far.
I think whichever passes will probably go far. So
I don't. What are we gonna do?
Do we have any comments about this and anything?
Cameron hasn't seen Marcel yet.
Oh, tragic.
I don't know who has seen both.
No, just based it off the letterbox rating. What's the higher average rating? Based on that.
Oh boy.
I can check after Yang.
I'll look. I feel like Marcel would. It's more recent, so I don't know.
Well, they're both
They're both this year.
after Yang is 3.9.
4.3.
Which one are you looking at? Are you looking at which rating system are you looking at?
Both of them.
Letterboxd?
Marcel is 4.3. That's higher than after Yang.
That is higher.
But with after Yang has 16K more reviews, that's enough.
Well, Marcel just came out.
Well,
More
Marcel
recent, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
I'm sure
no, if
Marcel
it just came out, that's a better. I feel like films that just came out have a better score in general.
They usually do, but
yeah, no one likes to trash on movies when they come
Marcel
out.
is so cute. Come
After
on,
Yang-
this show.
after Yang was rocking a 4.1 for a little while. But I mean, Marcel sounds good, so honestly, I'll drop it.
Okay. Then
Sorry, Sean.
next
I'm kind of bummed
matchup
about that. But
is gonna
I
be-
feel like I did this last time when I didn't see a movie and it's coming back to bite me. I don't remember what movie, but
okay.
So Marcel advances.
Marcel advances
Yeah, I
then.
guess.
Our next one is Slowest versus It Comes at Night.
This is all you guys.
is that a woof decision?
I feel like it comes at night, right? Based on what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like it, but I haven't seen Slowest.
I like Slowest a lot, but I feel like it's a little unfair since I'm the only one. I'm not like big on having Slowest be over It Comes at Night, so I'm okay with picking It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night is kind of mid tier, but it's also not bad. I mean, I like it. So if you're like middling versus like, I don't know.
I gave it 3 stars.
I gave it 4 stars. I give both 4 stars. To be fair.
Oh my
So-
god.
Colin, would you give it Comes at Night?
I think I gave it 3 stars on the first review and then 3.5 on the second review.
Let's just do it. Comes
it
at
doesn't
night.
matter because Marcel
It's gonna
is probably
lose to
gonna,
the next
Alright.
to the next
Well,
movie.
yeah, it
anyway.
doesn't matter.
Is it
Comes
playing?
at
Is it
Night,
playing Marcel?
move on. Yeah,
Okay.
It Comes at Night moves on then, and next up, Obvious Child versus Green Room.
Y'all.
Ooh.
Damn it.
I personally would go Obvious Child, but I understand Green Room moving on if that's what we want to do.
Oh man. Game's
I mean,
good, man.
I haven't finished it yet, but I'm liking what I see so far.
That's good enough for me.
yeah,
right?
Albert,
It's still going.
Break the tie because
I
you're
haven't seen
watching
obvious.
it
I
now.
haven't seen Obvious Child.
I don't know. It doesn't look good. Let's go.
Green Room is so good.
Wait, who have seen both?
Me, but I'm okay with
Colin.
I'm okay with Green Room moving on. That's fine. I know I'm the
Green
odd one
Room.
out. So
All right, yeah. If I can't get after Yang, I want Green Room.
Okay.
right. Then our final matchup is Everything Everywhere All at Once versus the Vivitch.
Oh,
Tragically.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
I think it's a
Just
crazy,
everything
but
everywhere all at
I-
once, but I have
I-
not.
I wanted to ask you guys, did any of you guys notice the person spinning the sign spinner before they go to the IRS building?
Sort of.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
like right before they go to there's a shot of someone spinning a sign, and so like later on you see Evelyn with the sign spinning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe
smart.
I don't recall.
Yeah,
if I did or not.
There's some great pieces of foreshadowing, like when the chef, the teppanyaki chef, has like when you first see him, he has the raccoon like on the back of his toque, like you can see a raccoon tail sticking out. So if when you guys rewatch it, pay attention to that because I thought that was pretty cool. It shows up before.
But it's
I think it's also just cool that like a mundane activity like sign spinning can be like added to the action sequence.
But it's passing, right? Like I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's very quick. Like it's just
no. I mean, we're passing into the next round.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
don't know. The goat looks more realistic than the raccoon.
I'm assuming you guys are going with everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whoa, Colin, GoPro shot.
GoPro shot. Gone. My laptop's gonna die.
It's like Doctor Strange.
Run.
Do the circle shot now.
Lamb versus mid-90s. Sophie, you've seen both, so which one do you?
I can. Lamb, absolutely.
Wow.
Although I do like mid-90s, but I give the edge to Lamb. But if you guys want mid-90s to go forward, because more of you've seen it, I would not be.
I like mid-90s quite a bit.
I do like mid-90s actually.
Well, okay, then we'll do mid-90s. How's that? Because they're close.
Okay.
Yay.
And that way we can talk more about it later. I'm not gonna be a buzzkill and be like, no, Lamb, Iceland.
Okay. Move on to next one is Bodies versus Uncut Gems.
Oh man.
Hot
I'll
take.
say my vote.
I'm going Bodies.
I'm going Bodies.
Albert,
I'm going Uncut Gems.
I'm going Uncut. I haven't seen Bodies.
Well, I haven't seen either. So
out of premise, like I just don't like Bodies sounds so cringy. Like you said, Matthew, I can't bring myself.
That's what I thought going in watching the trailer.
Does it
and then
so
I watched
dirty, dude. The trailer does it so dirty.
I don't know. I can't imagine it being like not cringy though. Like Gen Z satire, I don't really need that.
It's so well. The script is so good.
For someone who hates Gen Z, it was really funny to see this movie pick apart.
Matthew, you are Gen Z.
I'm on the edge.
What is Gen Z? What's the range?
The young people.
What do you mean, you guys? We're like
I'm Gen Z,
97,
and I don't
right?
even have a TikTok account. So
the cutoff is 96.
Hey, don't throw shots at me. I don't like this.
I mean, regardless
TikTok is a hellfire and it needs to burn down.
I can imagine the TikTok jokes now in the movie. Like everybody knows it's cringy. You don't need to make a movie about it. I can only imagine the jokes in the movie being cringy. Like what movie on the edge of like current contemporary culture does a good job of making fun of it without just becoming itself? Like
bodies.
This one did a good job.
Okay, I need to see it because I'm still skeptical. But
you should watch it at least, just like be able to make your opinion on it. With
I wish you.
Yeah, go watch it right now, and we'll finish this tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like you're giving it an unfair judgment because of the trailer, and you haven't actually.
Yeah, the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer. It's more conceptual. Like I don't want to see Gen Z, people making fun of. I get like, everybody's on their phones. I feel like it's gonna be like a boomer type jokes.
Like it's very clear. It's Gen Z's on their phones too much. Like is it one of the themes? But it's also just really well done.
Here's the thing: we've had this entire time movies move on for people who have seen both movies.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew and I have seen both movies.
I'm fine with Uncut moving. I mean, Bodies moving on. I'm just conceptually do not like the idea of Bodies.
Mm. We're trying to convince you to watch it. Is what we're doing right now.
I'm actually genuinely curious to see.
This is a different thing. I'm sorry. I'm
it's okay.
not trying to rail against the movie.
Yeah, Sean, you do have to watch it. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what your takes on it are. John,
I'll watch it later, but you guys can have it move on.
That's
now,
fair.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Bodies Advancing. I'll just say that Uncut Gems is one of my favorite, but that's fair.
That's fair. We'll move on
not putting up a fight. I respect that.
I mean, it's 2 against 1 vote, and Sean haven't seen one of them, so there's nothing I can do really.
I think we know what's moving on, but Marcel the Shell versus shoes. Marcel the Shell with shoes on versus
shoes. That's a
different. Marcel versus shoes.
Does Marcel ever take her shoes off in the movie?
No.
Or his dang, okay.
Marcel the shoe.
Quentin Tarantino's not watching it now.
Okay, so Marcel, and what's next after that?
I think Marcel moves on. I've seen both, so.
Okay, good call, Matthew. I haven't seen.
And I know that most of you you two aren't big on it, so it comes at night, so that's fine. And our final matchup in round 3 is Green Room versus Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Well, I watched this film for nothing
Everywhere, all at
then.
Green Room had a good
Oh.
run.
Yeah, good
Green
thing I
Room-
didn't. Well, good thing I let you have that instead of
Fair. That's fair. Made it to round 3.
the tour, the end of the tour.
You can
That
still
wasn't
finish
going
the
far
movie,
regardless.
Albert.
Coming.
I mean,
Okay,
I have
so
like 5 minutes left, so yeah, might as well.
I think let me just make sure.
I'll just say this film is not what I was expecting it to be, but I don't
Really?
hate it. No, I just had a different expectation of what this film's
I
to
see.
be.
Mhm.
Hey, I finished the film.
Nice.
So we're in the
right as soon as it got eliminated.
Yeah, we're in the
Well,
timing.
I guess we
quarterfinals
can
now.
go back, and we'll do round 4, which is Ex Machina versus Minari.
What the? Wait, where does this come from?
This is from the
The
previous
first
one,
bracket.
first bracket.
Oh, that's right. You left for
So
final 4.
We're not discussing these films again. We're
unless
just gonna
Albert
choose.
wants to, but because it gives me
No.
time to make the new bracket, so I need a little bit of time.
Oh,
So
okay.
Albert,
That's
go
fair,
ahead.
Albert. I guess you can choose
Um,
the one you like more.
Both films are really good. I think Ex Machina, I think, might be the first A24 film I see. I don't know if it is true or not. I love both of these films. Minari is one of my top ones from that year. Like all of them, respective film have great performances and everything. But I think if I have to vote for one of them, I'd vote on Ex Machina just because of just the direction and the performance. Alicia Vikander's performance is great, and like the whole look of her android body, just like it looks so good, especially for its time. And yeah, Domhnall Gleeson, Oscar Isaac's also great in the film. So if I have to vote, I'll vote for that. Although I do really love Minari a lot. So yeah.
I'm the same with Albert. Both great films, but I give the edge to Ex Machina. It's one of the first A24 movies I saw as well, and it blew me away. It's a brilliant movie.
I gotta rewatch it. It's been so long since I've seen
This
it.
is
Same, Albert. Same.
this is a tough one because they're literally my 14 and 15. But yeah, I would.
Oh, wait,
not gonna move on.
14 and 15th, like
Ex Machina's top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Ex Machina's 11 for me.
Oh my
I haven't
God,
rewatched it.
what
Though.
is
I haven't
it?
rewatched. I haven't rewatched it though. But
you said 14th and 15th out of all the
Mhm.
Oh,
A24.
man.
Yeah,
Okay, that's still kind of low, I think, for both. Wait,
That's pretty good.
oh,
So,
Comment.
Yeah,
Matthew's
Ex Machina.
deciding. Oh
Oh no, I said it's literally my 14th and 15th.
okay.
Ex Machina gets the edge though. So
Colin.
Colin about to show him his Ex Machina collection. We cannot hear you.
Okay, great.
Now we can.
You can? Sweet. My laptop is going to die. Thought I
Okay,
recorded
well,
with me.
I'll just say really quickly, I'm kind of tweaking my rankings now. I
Okay.
kind of say Minari. It was my first instinct. So, like looking at my old rankings, I didn't have. I don't know. I'm kind of updating like my thing on my list on Letterboxd, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Minari. But obviously, like both are great. So it's
yeah, they're like neck and neck for me. Colin, are you picking?
Well, it's 3 votes against 1. so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. I still want to make sure like we hear like everyone's
Okay,
vote though. You
fair. He's losing connection, I think. I don't know.
I say Ex Machina.
I made it. There we go.
Also, remind me, Metzabar got eliminated, right, from the previous bracket?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a crime on you guys. That shouldn't have happened. What did it lose
it was
to?
the Lighthouse. It was against the Lighthouse.
Oh my god, you're kidding me?
I know,
Wait,
right?
what? No,
Oh.
No, was it
I
not
like
against
the Lighthouse. No, I'm just saying I like the Lighthouse. I think that's a fair. I died. The computer died.
yeah, I don't know what
Oh.
happened before. I thought I had.
That's so funny.
So are you Ex Machina or Minari?
Oh, sorry, Ex Machina.
Okay. Well, so that still moves on. I brought out the bracket for the final 8. So
Yeah,
First Reformed or Hereditary now.
First Reformed.
First Reformed.
I'm Hereditary.
What's Sophie's
Hereditary, but
Well,
I
Sophie
can't vote.
doesn't
I
get a
haven't
vote.
seen First Reformed.
I'm on the same boat as Sophie. I haven't seen First Reform, but Hereditary is my number 5.
Okay,
all
so I think
Hereditary is my
then
number
it's the
4.
same case as bodies moving on.
Yeah,
Two people,
Bodies.
have,
But this one's
three
more
people have seen
important.
both.
This one,
So
I think that bodies hill.
Even if it's more important, the rule still applies.
yeah.
Rule-
All right, bodies or mid '90s bodies.
Oh,
Yeah, I
bodies,
don't care about
bodies.
mid
I
'90s that
cannot
much.
believe mid 90s fucking made it to the and
Top
Midsommar did.
8.
This is stupid. This is
It's
stupid.
it's the matchup.
Well, that's because of match.
and
yeah,
the Lighthouse didn't even made it. Who did the Lighthouse lose to?
Yeah,
Who
what?
made it all the way?
Moonlight, I think.
Where's
Moonlight
Moonlight?
doesn't even made it all the way.
Well,
Moonlight
a lot
lost
of
to
good
First
matchups.
Reformed, if I remember
Oh
correctly.
my god. Okay.
A lot of good matchups.
This
Oh.
sucks, man. I feel like First
our-
Reform is going to win because we've got 2 people that's seen it, or 3 people that's seen it. So we won't be Albert and I won't be able to vote.
I think for well, okay, so Everything Everywhere All at Once or Marcel
Well,
the
Hereditary is not that good.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Yes, it is.
I like the one with the googly eyes.
Hereditary is overrated. Oh yeah, but Everything Everywhere All at Once is my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
same.
It hurts to see Marcel go, but you know it's
More fun.
it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's hard to beat. All right, we'll go to Ex Machina or First Reformed.
This sucks. Ex Machina, but like I can't really do much.
Wait, is this the final 4?
I'm exactly like Sophie because of the same case.
Is this the final 4?
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
Final Four.
It's Ex Machina, First Reformed, Bodies, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What a weird.
Oh my
Combination.
gosh! Wait, yeah.
That's
What
such a
happened to-
weird.
What was the one Andrew
I
was
agree
saying
with-
earlier? A Ghost Story. What happened to A Ghost Story?
Oh, we
I
voted
can-
that out.
I'll pull up the love bracket because
We don't have to. It doesn't matter. I'm just surprised. Yeah, I'm with Albert. I'm surprised he's ended up here. Actually, like Moonlight is not up there. Like, heck.
it's okay. Real winners that have been long gone.
Mhm. That first bracket
yeah,
was, I think,
Ex
tougher.
Machina. Ex Machina. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'll go X Machina. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
And I,
See, this is where I would go with First Reformed, but
Really?
Ex Machina seems
No.
to get the lead. So, all right, and our final or second to last matchup: Bodies versus Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Shoot. I haven't
Everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah,
Uh,
Everything Everywhere.
I like the one from 2022. So I'll go with that one.
seen- Good one.
Okay. And our final matchup is Ex Machina or Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
That is an amazing matchup. Probably one of the best. But I'm gonna go Everything Everywhere All at Once here. That's just the superior movie.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is my pick as well.
Same.
Yeah.
like the last I have then. God. The difference. Both are in my top 5. And between like my top 8 goes to them. Yeah, I'll go Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sure.
All right, so that
Yeah,
means
I think
Everything
so.
Everywhere All at Once is our winner of the A24 bracket.
Yay!
So
Absolutely.
I
Wait,
yeah,
was that what was Albert's vote? Was that unanimous too? Or
Yeah, I
that
would
was
have voted for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So.
I told you guys it was gonna win after I watched it, and you guys were like, "That good, huh?"
I'll bring up the entire bracket just for a recap. I'm not gonna say everything that won, but unfortunate for you audio listeners, but here is the visual for
Go check the video version on the Real Trivia Entertainment YouTube channel.
and this is the recap. I'm not gonna list everything off because it's a lot. We've been going pretty long. So this is the recap of 33 through 64. I'll bring up the first 32.
There is like 100 movies that doesn't make either brackets, right?
No, it's more like
Right.
Because
more popular ones.
32
Yeah,
plus
it's
32, that's 64, and there's like what?
Mhm.
Is it
there's like
116 movies?
110 something
So
like
okay,
that.
40 films,
Yeah.
something. Okay.
But yeah, this is our first round. If you guys weren't here for that, you should go back and listen to part 1. I don't know what you guys are listening to part 2 for right now.
And you can find me getting mad at every single decision that we make.
I think Moonlight should have been First Reformed.
Wow, Room lose to
I
Enemy.
agree, but I didn't see First Reformed. But
Yeah.
I need to watch this freaking movie. But whatever.
First
I love how
Reformed-
Matthew was like,
Room
"You
was-
need to watch it," and then I said
Oh
I
my
didn't,
God.
and now I'm getting
8th
mad
grade
again.
lost to Enemy in the first round. You kidding me?
I was so
What happened? What lost to Enemy?
Yeah, 8th grade lost to Enemy.
8th grade lost to
Yeah,
Enemy.
that was intense.
As well as
Enemy's
Room
good.
lost to
Chosen
Enemy.
8th grade.
Honestly, Room and Enemy are both good. I don't know.
But yeah, this is the recap.
Lady Bird
So,
Moonlight was the toughest matchup for round 1. I remember that.
I think First Reform does the A24 style too much. That one, I honestly thought it kind of overdid the just central square box, central framing of a character. Like, I don't know. I thought that was the first time I'm like, all right, this style's kind of gone too far. But whatever.
But in the comments, we know Cameron wanted First Reform to win, or maybe it was just for one of the matchups. But still, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, even if there were some rough.
Hiccups.
Yeah.
Now,
I would have loved to see Lady Bird make it further.
Would you have chosen, if it was Lady Bird versus Everything Everywhere All at Once, what would you have chosen?
I would choose Lady Bird. It's just my
Wow.
personal attachment to it. It's still my favorite. Everything Everywhere All at Once is my second right now.
Is there anything anyone has above Everything Everywhere All at Once now?
I
Midsommar.
have 2 films above Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What?
Midsommar is my number 1, and The Farewell is my number 2.
Oh my
the
God,
Farewell. That's kind of
we're
high for the Farewell,
twins.
but
I
For
love
the
The Farewell so
Midsommar,
much.
we're twins.
Yeah,
Midsommar, I do need to see actually still.
And then, Colin, if you're still there, what do you have above Everything Everywhere All at Once?
A Ghost
If
Story.
anything.
That's and the
okay.
Lighthouse.
That's it.
Not sure.
Okay.
Okay. Cameron saying Everything Everywhere All at Once, taking it all completely works for him. It is his number 1. So that's
I watch it.
yeah, I guess that's all I have for today. So yeah, thanks to everyone who listened,
Thank
everyone
you,
in the live
everyone.
chat. Thanks for everyone for being here, and we will have other real ranks later on. I don't know when, but keep you updated in this Discord.
I'm glad we finally finished the A24 one. 5 months
Mhm.
after
I know.
the original.
No, is it 5 months?
5
5
months
months
after the
after
original, but I was just like, well, bodies came out, so it's a good time
And
to start.
it made it far.
And we finally all had a similar schedule.
Yeah.
Except for
Did
John.
we? Did the
Yeah.
Disaster Artist lose like first round? What was Disaster Artist up against? I think I
Not
fought
that-
hard for that one.
It's probably a Green Knight right there.
The Green Knight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind. Rip.
Just a little. Now that I've updated my rankings, like from my old A24 list, my top 3 I'd say now are probably Everything Everywhere, After Yang, and Minari.
Ooh.
Wow, you love After Yang that much? That's incredible. I need to watch
Yeah,
that.
honestly, yeah, it might be recency bias, but like After Yang, I think is amazing. And then Moonlight and Ex Machina are like that's my top.
There's a
5.
DMR upstairs.
Good bracket.
Good brag.
Yeah, good bracket. Good. Yeah, I'm glad Everything Everywhere got the recognition it deserves. It's an incredible movie.
Honored to be part of this panel.
Guys, I had fun.
Thank you for
This was
subbing,
awesome.
Albert. Thank you for subbing.
Sounds good. I think Matthew lost connection. So I'm just gonna wrap it up on his behalf. This is the part of the podcast where everyone already stopped listening because we ended like a few minutes ago. But thank everyone for listening. Check out all our other stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the podcast platform, Real Trivia Entertainment, and we'll see you in all the other podcasts. Where is the outro? Here it is. Bye bye.